What up?
I need that sports encyclopedia. U.S. Steve Kim. Got Trent in the cut.
Coach JB.
Yeah.
Where you at, man? In the gym shooting, I'm Durant. You ain't shooting John Moran.
Darnell is the Ball State legend. I'm the Warren Central High School legend.
Proven with a reliable source, straight from the mouth of the horse. Smitty and JB and Smitty from West Coast to Yost.
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
Better stay in your lane. How did you?
You are fucking insane. Dude, what? You just will not give this guy his flowers. What is wrong with you?
Oh, you must have thought I was a bitch.
I am him. You's not it. What's the topic? With your logic when I flow. Big Komodo, I was talking.
Got to get back to letting the baby cry a little bit to see if they can soothe themselves. That's a bar.
Issues get pressed so past it, don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it and filled the gap.
I identified him after his third fight, and I said that guy can be a star.
I'm so proud of the show, bro.
With the gas, Smitty and Jason Brown.
To the Coach JB show.
What up? We are in the building. It is Merciless Monday. I'm taking no mercy on this great Monday after a great weekend of football. I'm just kidding. Another shitty week of football. We are here in the building. Smitty and I, we got a lot going on, lots to break down, a lot of gas. It's E-Dub Monday. Eric Weddle, Super Bowl champ. Shaun King joins us. Big Mac McChesney is going to join us in an early appearance because he's got a lot going on. He's going to join us in about 30 minutes. We're going to break down the Colorado K-State game, plus some college football, and we'll have our top five and our bottom five, top of the world, bottom of the barrel list, Smitty and I. So shout out to everybody that's here already on an early Monday morning, on your way to work, your drive in, wherever you are, in your mama's basement, on your couch, on your side chick's BMX riding home, because her boyfriend's chasing you down the street, whatever it may be. Short, fast, skinny, tall. We talk it all on the realest show on planet Earth. So pound that like, subscribe, become a member. And our proud new sponsor, BetUS. You can get there now and use my promo code CoachJB and get you 150% off, plus 125% bonus as well on your second and third buy-in up to $2,000. So Coach JB is the promo code. BetUS is the site. The best offshore book in the world. So go check it out. We're going to dive into this thing. We got a lot to discuss today, a lot going on. So make sure you subscribe. Head on over to CoachJBStore.com as well, as we got a lot of new merch out there. And you can't wait till you see the new merch that I'm about to drop today. Woo! Can't wait for that one. But let's dive into it. I want to make one thing clear to all the meat riders out there. This is not a Chicago Bears show. It is not a Colorado Buffalo show. It is not a whoever your favorite team or quarterback show is. So stop hitting me up, asking me, what about Caleb Williams? What about Jaden Daniels? What about Shedeur Sanders? What about this guy? What about that guy? This is a real show, the realest show. And we talk about real things, hot or cold. And I understand Caleb has had two decent games, one real good game, and they have won a few games. But where were you when we talked about all this, when he was throwing for 90 yards and he looked like an absolute bust? Where were all you preemptive strikers when it comes to your predictions? We talk about this shit every day. We give predictions every day, while you all hide in the shadows of your mama's basement until the results pop up. Wow, it's very interesting how that works, isn't it? Anyways, we're going to dive into that as well. The Cowboys got absolutely destroyed on Jerry Jones' birthday, and he has nobody to blame but himself. Dak Prescott was a horrible re-signing. Should have waited until after the season. And just FYI, stop paying these dudes during the season or right as the season begins. Wait until the season ends, especially if you're on another year or 2-year deal waiting to happen. If you have any doubts, why are you signing him before the season? Makes zero sense. We have seen it several times this year already. Brandon Ayuk, how's that working out? Dak Prescott, how's that working out? Trevor Lawrence, how's that working out? A.J. Brown just came back from finally played. How's that working out? DK Metcalf, how's that working out? All have been, to be honest, garbage. But you paid and broke the bank for these guys already. The Cowboys had a Micah Parsons and Lawrence miss yesterday's game, but they got absolutely dominated. So let me ask you guys this. You're telling me that Micah and Lawrence were the reasons why the Lions hung a 50 burger on them. You know what it tells me? They have no roster depth. They have no roster. They have no fight. Horrible coaching. Combine all that together, and you get a team that won't even make the playoffs this year once the 49ers and the Rams get healthy. You already have the Packers and the Vikings who are better, and the Bears could be on the way to being better than them right now. And Houston clearly is the best team in Texas. And Jerry Jones hates to hear that. But the truth is the truth, no matter who tells it. The Cowboys have a leadership problem, a quarterback problem, and a coaching problem. Zimmer is way beyond his years, as I've said on this show. McCarthy looks like a fish out of water, and Dak is an overpaid under-deliverer. Just like this entire roster has been since 1995. The last time they won a Super Bowl. But what do I know? We're going to dive into it. Caleb Williams and the Bears take out the Jaguars in London in a horrible game. Aiden Hutchinson breaks his leg in an awkward set of events. T's and P's, we'll dive into that. Dak and the Cowboys look god-awful as the Lions dominate them. And Colorado loses to K-State despite a late comeback. USC chokes again under the Lincoln Riley-led Trojan regime, and Penn State wins in overtime. Alabama holds on by dear life, and Vanderbilt once again shocks America. After the big Bama win, they go back and strike and beat Kentucky when no one said they could do it 2 weeks in a row. Nick Sirianni seen chirping at fans in Philadelphia after the Eagles barely win, and then he's on the podium with 3 kids as if he's the victim. Will barely win over Cleveland, by the way, with Deshaun Watson's weirdo ass, who's absolutely atrocious. Please, I cannot watch Deshaun Watson take another snap. Oregon takes out Ohio State as Will Howard decides to slide with no time left, as if he's in a water park somewhere. And there's no time left on the clock. Ending the game at that point is an unbelievable disaster. We're going to dive into that big-time game. But before we begin, tonight's Monday Night Football game, the Jets and the Bills could be bigger than we think. We're going to dive into that as well today on this fully loaded show. But before we begin, my co-host, Naptown legend, Far East Sider 317, LeBron Hairline Having, Lamar Jackson Loving, IR5 Defending, Caitlin Clark Johnson, Fox Sports' very own, Big Smitty. Welcome, Amelia.
What's going on, y'all? Happy Mother Monday. We here live. Coach JB Show with Big Smitty. Happy Mother Monday. I'm not going to say it because it's only been 10 minutes within our show. And I know there's a weird rule where
we're at 11 minutes. We're at 11 minutes.
Happy motherfucking Monday. We here live, man, on the show. We got Bailey in the background, man. We got Eric, Jazzy Jazz.
My clock's wrong? It's only 6:09. What happened? It's all good, man. It's on me. I mean,
we gonna get flagged, homie. We gonna get flagged, homie.
Told you not to cuss, but guess what?
What? Chicken butt?
Who did it? Black man. See how I did that?
It's always race with you,
I did that, though? But you see how I did it?
I see how you did it.
Yeah.
It's always race with you. It's always race with you.
But that's how we did it. Do it. So y'all.
Who's we?
So let's talk. We got a lot going on today.
We got a lot going on. I cannot wait to talk about these football topics. Lamar. I'm gonna just sit back and chill.
I can't wait to talk about Kamala Harris. I can't wait to talk about that too. Oh, that wasn't this show.
No, it's your other show. This right here is powered by Bet US, the #1 betting platform in all of the world, not just America, the whole world. So we talk about sports on this show.
World, Craig. World.
Not just the city, the world. What's going on, Jane? Yeah, I'm here, Jane. I'm back, Jane. Get ready.
We got a lot going on. This is a real show on Planet ERF, regardless of if you don't like me, you don't like Smitty, you like Smitty, you like me, you don't like Jeff, you don't like Matt, you don't like the guest. It's still a real show. And regardless of what you think, just so we know, real clear. International black man.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to troll the thing. I'm going to block you. I'm going to be real. Let's be honest. It's a racist show. RACCISSS. Make sure you know that, International black man. We'll block you real quick. Yeah, real quick.
Fast
as hell. Trump was in California, by the way. He was right up the street.
He was turning up. Yeah, he was there. AB was there.
They tried to smoke him again.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't. I'm dead ass. You lying.
I swear to God, homie.
Send me the link at the commercial break.
No, you can find it.
No, you send me the link. I want to see from you.
Bailey, send it to Smitty because he really probably don't believe it. Yeah, look at Bailey. hey, man, we're not gonna talk politics, but at some point, do you think that some people are feeling sorry that this cat's really been tried 3 times? If you were walking out, if you've been tried, if they tried you 3 times, do you think like cats would be like, "Fuck, Smitty, I love this motherfucker. Smitty really just taking it for us."
I mean, I've been tried, so I mean, you know, and nobody has sympathy for me. So
have you got hit though?
Nah,
I got hit.
Trent ain't been hit either. You ain't been hit, JB.
I got hit. I got hit. I got a side. I'll show you. But yeah,
you got graze. You got graze. Look,
brag about it. I got brag about it.
Little flesh wound. Yeah.
I've also been stabbed in the pen, but you know, we don't talk about that. But that's in my book. Hate Me Now, Love Me.
Well, I hope you learned from it, JB.
You can get that right now on CoachJBStore.com. So if you don't know that by now. Smitty, we got a lot going on though, and we got to start this show off by right out the gate with and Bailey, send me a link real quick for EDub later on. We got to start this show off with a banger, and it's Quote of the Day time, brought to you by BetUS. Head on over there. Head on over to BetUS and use the promo code CoachJB and get you 150% off, up to $2,000 plus insurance and gambling protection. So you can get protected. And that means if you spend the amount of money that you kind of want to renege and pull back and pull out, that's what he said, you can get that protection. And it's better than a Trojan helmet condom. So make sure you head on over there, BetUS, use the promo code CoachJB. Let's dive into the quote of the day, Big Smitty. This is my own right here. Don't waste your time where you don't count.
Ooh.
A lot of people don't understand. I want you to make sure that sinks into all you people out there. Don't waste your time where you don't count.
Wow.
Yeah,
you know what?
That should make you head spin because you don't even like, damn, yesterday I spent my time, I spent money at this hamburger place. They didn't like me there. They were rude. They didn't like BPS. I shouldn't have spent my money there. They didn't let my girl. And then you look around like, damn, I went to this gas station. Some Hamases ran it. They charged me. I didn't want to really, you know what I'm saying? You know, all this different shit, homie. Like you go over to Long Beach, best pizza, but it's made up humans. And I'm like, fuck, do I really want to get made up humans pizza money? So you got to really be careful where you spend your time, homie, because they don't want you there. They do not want you there.
That's kind of tough, man. I mean,
Jazzy Dad, I got a girl now.
My first 4 months on this show, y'all didn't want me here, you know, and I was like, man, like
they want you here now. Like the Dick Ride haters don't like you, but
they want me here now. They want me here now. I like that, JB. Like I wouldn't rank that one, but it's something that we need. It's a different type of quote. It's not one of those quotes that's like, oh my God, it's so amazing. The creativity. No, it's just one of those things that like it's a strong message. The viewers needed to hear that. And we're going to move forward.
Somebody already quoted on Twitter.
Already.
Yeah.
JB, I told you, you have the power to do a lot. Like you have a strong following. You can incite. Like you could
Screenshot this. Put on Twitter right now. Screenshot this.
No, do not do that, bro. I'm on screen.
Sydney Sweeney said, JB, why do you eat butt? Gross. I don't eat butt. I get my butt.
Move on to the next one, homie. So what's the next one?
Do you have tuberculosis, homie?
I don't eat butt. Whips.
Like, I don't, but AE doesn't mean IAE. Let's dive into contrary to belief. This one's another deep one, man. I don't know if you're ready. It's my own. So when I do my own from scratch and it's organic, it's a little bit harder to understand because a lot of you are not smart.
Right.
You're not very smart. You're not on my level of smartness. So understand this. I'll go slow. Contrary to belief. Brought to you by Prize Picks. Head on over there. Use the promo code CoachJB as well. Plus, our Skybox ticker. You can go get that using Coach JB. Get 10% off of those right now if you got a man cave or if you're a coach and you want your team to see the Coach JB show on the ticker.
I like that.
Contrary to belief, trying to please everyone is a recipe for disaster. Pause. Be yourself. Pause. It will be good to know who's down with that. Break that down, Smitty. To break it down in those segments, because it's my own. I had to break it down because you got to go slow. Trying to please everyone is a recipe for disaster. We know that's contrary to belief. Be yourself, contrary to belief. It will be good to know who's down with that.
I love that. I love that because, listen, the one thing that we all have, the power that we all have, is to simply be you. Because nobody else in this world can be you better than you can be you. So utilize that, embrace that, take the pros, the cons, and everything that comes with it, and always be yourself. It's the easiest thing to do. It's hard to be somebody else and to lie and to be phony and fake it every single day just to make him, her, them, they happy. Be yourself at all times, and people who will accept you for you, and people who won't, they won't. Point blank, period. I love it.
Did you just use pronouns?
Nah, I was speaking in plural.
Got you.
I was speaking in groups, like I was speaking in plural.
Got you. We're gonna go with it. Keep integrity of the show. Poll question, real quick. We got him on the thumbnail. Poll question: has Caleb Williams entered back into the discussion of Rookie of the Year?
Enter back into it? He's entered back into it. Yes, he has entered back into it. Yes, he has. But Jaden Downs is still the lead.
The conversation. Yeah.
He is back into the conversation. You got to put him back to the conversation. 3-game winning streak. I think it's the first 3-game winning streak they've had in years. He's looking really, really good right now. Threw 4 touchdowns yesterday. The game before that, threw for 300-something yards. Beat your Rams against going, head-to-head against Matthew Stafford. Injuries or not, that's still a big-time win a couple weeks ago. So now, this guy is rolling right now. They got the Miami Dolphins, I believe. Who do they have now? Let me look at the Bears schedule, man. See who they got coming up next. But regardless, man, they're rolling right now. Keenan Allen starting to get into a little bit of a rhythm with Caleb, and you can just see the game is slowing down. Actually, they got the Commanders. The Commanders is next. Oh, shoot. So they got a bye week, and they come back, and then we're going to actually see the two rookies go at it. We got Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams going to go at it. That's going to be a big-time game to kind of decide what we're thinking from a Rookie of the Year standpoint. But listen, I was never the guy that said Caleb Williams was going to be the best quarterback of all time, better than Tom Brady, better than Mahomes. You got to show me that. But I was the guy that said I do think he's going to be a good quarterback in this league. It takes time. As a rookie, you go into a horrible franchise, a team that hasn't won anything in a long time. You can't expect the turnaround to happen just like this. So the first few weeks, he was shaky. The numbers were kind of off. He was getting sacked left and right, holding the ball too long. But as we're seeing now, the game is slowing down. He's starting to a little bit better, and now they're starting to slowly roll.
I told you so. Who's he talking to?
He's talking to you, JB, and that's why I'm gonna take a step back and let you jump in. Caleb Williams is telling you with my painted fingernails, with everything you don't like about me. I told you so. This is who I am. I can make every.
Oh, he's going. I'm yelling over there. I see it.
He's talking to you, He's looking at you at your face.
He's telling me,
like man to man.
So when I told him he was shitty and soft and couldn't manage the locker room, and the team wasn't going to like him very much, which it proved through the first 3 weeks.
No, it didn't prove it. They just lost. They didn't prove it.
So when but my words held true. That's my point. What I said through 3 weeks was absolutely true. He was he was horrible. He was fucking god awful. He was on his way to being a bust. So what I said was true.
No, the bust part. The bust part was not true. The bust part was not true.
Don't talk about now. Homie, we're talking to the first 3 weeks. You can't
call somebody a bust after 2 bad games.
Hold on, though. I said
I
said they lost. He threw for 90 yards. He was horrible, and he was on his way to being a bust. Is what
they're also winning games while he's playing bad too, contrary to beliefs in those first few weeks. It ain't like they started the season 0-4, 0-3. They were winning games too.
No, they didn't. That's what my point was, though, to the whole Justin Fields thing, wasn't it? Oh shit, you got better talent around you? Guess what? Pretty good job, huh? They got wideouts and a running back? Oh, really? Justin Fields never got to have that. But when he threw for 90 yards and all this shit and everyone came out, I would hear cricket. Amir, how you do a cricket?
I don't know.
That's gawk. I don't know. So look.
I don't know what the fuck that was.
I said, that's African Bambata, homie.
Whoa. Keep going. Keep cooking.
What?
Keep going.
You don't know nobody in Africa, homie. So look.
I do.
So look.
My homie grandma and granddad live out there. Always people.
By the way, homie, South Africa is all white.
Put your fist down, JB.
Listen.
Do
cricket. Tomorrow will be a show. Crickets. Do I do a cricket? We got cricket sounders? I can't do a cricket.
I don't know.
Motherfucker, you calling a cat?
No, for real. What sound does a cricket make?
You sound sick though. On another note, you sound like you got tuberculosis or something. You been smoking?
I told you I was on the back end of something right now. I'm like 88% right now.
You've been hitting that what? Oh, I'm just saying.
I was hanging around you this Saturday. I was hanging around you Saturday. You got me.
You didn't come on the boat. You didn't come on the boat,
homie.
You didn't come on the boat. It was unbelievable day, but you didn't come out. It's funny. We do have breaking news
at the casino though. Shout out to Steve Kim. We had a hell of a
time. It was horrible. Nobody was there. I never seen the hustler that garbage in my life. I've never seen that.
I don't do that. Steve invited us out. You got there late. I got there early.
Two things can be true, homie. Two things can be true.
My man's Mario was there. Mario watches the show. I walked up. He said, Darnell. He said, Big Smitty, man.
Yeah. I didn't see Mario. I don't see.
You got there late, homie. White people shit, homie.
You should have waited for me.
Mario said he watches the show. He was laughing. All that stuff. It was cool though. He just got his Hollywood Walk of Fame little thing in the ground. Shout out to him.
He got it for what? He got it for being on ET, huh? Entertainment Tonight.
I'm not sure.
I think so. I used to hit one of his girls. The girl that was on Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the which one? No, you did. We talked about this before. You didn't hit. You said you wanted to, and you thought she looked good, and she used to live by you.
I went to school with her for a minute. She left my school. She went to like Hollywood acting class or whatever.
You said she's still bad to this day.
Nah, now she's horrific.
Oh, okay.
Her name is Lark Voorhees.
You gotta say the name, homie. You gotta say the name, homie. Shout out to Mario. Shout out to Steve for inviting. We had a hell of a time. Thai wings, margaritas. The bartenders were showing love. We had the games on every single TV. It was a vibe. My man was there. He had like 29 beers in a row and was still knocking them down. He's the fastest drinker I've ever seen in my life. He was just chugging them down like this. We had a hell of a time.
Jerry, your brother had about 47 beers. He almost capsized us twice on the boat.
Porch was knocking them beers down. Like it was insane. Like I've never
Porch weighs roughly around 500 pounds. So he was trying to take a piss in my bathroom on the boat. He couldn't fit. He had to go one hip at a time. We had to we had to turn the motherfucker in there, and then he almost capsized the boat. My yacht. He tried to capsize my fucking yacht, homie.
The The bathroom kind of small a little bit. That's all.
Yeah, but you got to have a bathroom. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's better to have a bathroom than not have a bathroom.
Hell yeah. Say that thing. You right.
Yeah. So, you know.
Anyway, so Keller Williams, man, are you impressed by it? I mean, what do you feel right now? Your mindset should have changed because you now have new information.
Jeff Nadu brought this up on our Sunday show with Shaun Salisbury yesterday, and I cussed him out. And I'm like, no, it's not. You act like they fucking played the fucking Denver Broncos or the Baltimore Ravens or
let's say the Broncos for,
because they have one of the top 5 defenses in football. Do you not catch on what I'm laying down, homie? Are you not catching down that they played the fucking Jaguars? Have you seen how bad this team is? And I wouldn't be
desperate team, though, who needs to win.
Doug Peterson was fired today. That team looks like a fucking JV. And can we stop going over to London? Fuck, homie. Who gets up at 6 in the morning? Did you watch it, homie?
I woke up on my couch.
You got up and watched it?
Yeah.
How did kickoff start?
I don't remember, but I woke up. Right-handed guy. I actually woke up. I ain't gonna lie. Now I was dozing, like kind of in and out the first quarter, and then I finally like officially got up. Like, all right, end of the first quarter, second quarter, I started tuning in. But
hold on. D Jones, you guys are in London again?
Yeah, no, they're staying in London this whole week. I was gonna say that for their next week game. So they should be better next week. But JB, we'll get back to this in a minute, man. Our main man, Big Matt McChesney, I believe, is in the building. He's ready to go. He has a short amount of time with Matt, so we gotta break him in. We're gonna transition to some college football for a little while, and then we'll come back to all this. I gotta hear your Keller Williams opinion, man. So Bailey, if Matt is ready, go ahead and bring him into the show right now, man. What's going on, man? How you doing?
What's up, boys? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, man. Happy Monday.
What's good?
Oh, man. Good, Matt. What's up, bro? I didn't know the Jaguars stayed in London a whole nother week. The fucking NFL's a mockery.
Why are they staying in London?
Because they play again there this week.
Again in London next week, like next upcoming Sunday.
They play back-to-back games in London?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Kurt Warner. Hey, homie, Kurt Warner. Hold on. Kurt Warner's been over there for like a month, homie. He can't get back home. Kurt Warner's been on NFL Network calling the game. Everything he's tweeting, I've been seeing him tweeting everything like, I'm celebrating my wife's birthday in London. I'm celebrating my 40th anniversary in London.
You guys gonna have like girlfriends over there now and shit.
My kid's got a new girlfriend. We're celebrating my girlfriend's in London. This is like a European vacation, homie. Fucking National Lampoon. God,
baby.
It's all about that money.
Bullshit. That shit's crazy, dog. That shit's crazy. I would have left. I said, "Fuck that! I'm going home."
No, you would.
Yeah,
right. You know what I'm saying? No, you would.
You want to collect that shit?
I'm talking about Kurt Warner. I'm talking about Kurt Warner. That motherfucker's been over there like a month because he's had what? This is the 4th game in a row there, or 3rd?
He's getting broke now. Trust me, they're paying the fuck.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
He's taken care of.
Holy shit!
It ain't that bad now.
And you got all the Hamases over there taking over. I'm like, fuck that. I'm out of there. But anyway, Matt, let's dive into it. Man. We got a lot going on, man. A lot of talk going on here. Jumping on early.
It is Columbus Day. Happy Colonizer Day. Everybody feel really, really bad about the past today. Everyone, you bastards.
Christopher Columbus, a guy that didn't do shit for us. But anyway, keep reading the history book in class. Keep reading your history class. That motherfucker didn't do it. He didn't find nothing, motherfuckers. You fucking idiots.
Not Cuba. Thought it was India.
JB said he found some shit that we already discovered.
I'm like, goddamn, we sure didn't find California like the motherfucker thinks they did. That was found by a Mexican. But anyway, let's dive into it. We got a lot going on. Let's dive into it straight in. We don't have you longs. Last weekend, you had a dominating performance on the NFL side with the Broncos holding the Jets to 9. And your Colorado Buffs won. This weekend, that's how the world works, right? 2 weeks ago. This weekend, then you had a bye. This weekend, both of your teams in Denver lost. Two of your former teams. So I'm gonna be honest. Like, so people don't realize, like, when I talk about we're a real show. If I was a dick writer, I would have had Colorado on my thumbnail, and I would have been in here trolling them. But we're real, and I told Baby, I said, listen, I was on the boat because I don't really watch a lot of college football anymore like I used to because I just think it's fucking horrible. But that's just our opinion, my difference in opinion. So I was on the boat. We got to a casino to meet Smitty, to give Matt our whole update on our day, and to meet Steve Kim and Saved by the Bell and all that. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I didn't get to see the second half, Matt. So I'm like, I'm not fair. I'm not right or fair to comment or talk about it. I didn't get to watch it. I had to drive 2 hours. I was, I had a few. So I was like, let me pause and not drive and do Rashid Rice.
Hey, good job, coach. Good shit. Yeah, all right.
He put up by LAX and just waited until he sobered up. Yeah.
No, I got home. But I'm just saying. So what I'm saying is, what you saying, homie? What you saying? I got to watch the first half, but I didn't get to see the second half, and I know it was back and forth.
Yeah, the second half was pretty good.
That was amazing.
Yeah, so go give me your take on the game because I didn't get to see the second half as it ended, and that's why we didn't have Colorado on our thumbnail to all you dick writers out there.
Well, okay, so look, we can talk about the issues first. Just get the bad stuff out of the way. Look. They had and this makes me sick saying this, but negative 29 yards rushing, and they gave up 240 or something.
Let me remind me real quick. Can you correct me on the rules now? I know the NFL changed. Or passing, or when you drop back to pass and you're sacked, is that now on passing?
That's rushing yards.
So in the league, it's passing though. In the league, it's passing.
In the league, it's passing yards. In college football, it's rushing yards. So the rushing yards were. They didn't run the ball a lot anyway, but I mean, Shador has a step-up problem. Like Shador is always trying to make a play, and I respect that, but you've got to coach that out of him. And you're a quarterback coach and a guru. You know that you got to coach that out of the kid because it's not productive. He's turning.
You know what we do for that? You know what we do for that? So when we do drop back drills and every day in drills, when we're working the pocket, I got me a tube. It's not gonna hurt him too bad, but it's a bendable tube, and I'm fucking hitting the shit out of his back of his helmet with it. and I'm being serious because we hated, Matt back in our day.
Floaty things in a pool.
Yeah, exactly what it is. Hey, Matt. So Matt, we hated the coaches when they hit our helmet with the whistle. Remember?
Yeah.
You fuck because that ding ding. So. I hit our quarterback, dog. Get that bitch out of your hand. So as we climb the pocket, I'm hitting you with the floaty. I put a little fish weight in there, get a little more weight, but that's just me.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So anyway, you're hitting that motherfucker, man, and you got to make sure that he has a shock treatment regarding a sense of urgency. Because if
I think he was sacked 6 times, and only 2 of them were accredited to the offensive line, so 4 of them were on him. But negative 29 yards rushing, and then the way Kansas State ran the ball, that's the difference in the game. And look, CU's defense struggled to a point. I mean, they definitely played better in the second half. People are acting like this game was like 65-10. I mean, CU went up 28-24 with a minute and 50 seconds left.
I thought the game was over, man.
I thought they were going to win. So they played terrible. They didn't, and Coach Prime will be the first one to tell you, he called out his own son, Shiloh, and said he played horrible.
Hey,
he said that, and he's not wrong. Shiloh got absolutely broken off in this game multiple times. I mean, this is touch earth. And Mark Jones is on ESPN right when that happened. Mark goes, 21, can you do something for me? And I was like, oh my God. So,
hey, this is why I said that there's no way, because I'm equating it to what we see in the NFL today.
Yeah, I don't know if Shiloh's an NFL player right now.
He's not. There's no way.
He's a free agent.
Yeah, break it down. Yeah. I break it down for the layman's though. I want to make sure everyone understands. Nowadays, I give him a lot of credit. And I told him this personally. You have nuts and guts, which we don't have anymore. I said,
I'm glad he came back and played. That
I
shows me
appreciate you trying to bang everybody. I
Yeah,
appreciate you. I appreciate it. But you, son, cannot play in the NFL anymore because there is no true quarter safeties no more coming down in B gap hitting the run game because we have so much RPO and number 2 going vertical in the NFL. You got to have a nickel safety. That's why linebackers now weigh 215, not 255.
Yeah,
So
well,
the game has changed.
So look, on the offensive side of things, I thought Shador played as good as he could, with the exception of the sacks and the overthrow. He had 4 or 5 bad plays, and those 4 or 5 bad plays, I bet you they cost CU at least 14 points, okay? Because Kansas State was not slowing down us throwing the ball at all. And vice versa, we could not stop them running the football at all. I mean, the running back for Kansas State is a grown man, and he was just shrugging guys off.
Well, what happened? I didn't see. So what happened? Why they couldn't stop the run all of a sudden?
It's just the nature of the Kleinman offense. You know, he comes from North Dakota State. They're multiple in how they run the ball. Avery Johnson is dynamic, and he made some really good throws. I thought that I thought that the game was there for either team, and Kansas State made the last play, and CU couldn't match them at the end. And honestly, I thought when they got the ball back with 1:20 left that they were going to go down and at least kick a field goal and it was going to go to overtime. I'm not going to sit here and like bitch at the refs for a PI. The pass might have been uncatchable. I don't know. The ref made the call. It's what it is. I don't feel this. I don't feel the same as I did last year when they lost games like this. I just don't. Like I look at the rest of I look at this game against Kansas State, and it was a dogfight against a rival. And people, when I say rival and people get upset about that, obviously you don't know the history of Colorado and Kansas State at all. They were North rival. We played them every year when I was there, and they're an old Big 8 team. So there's the logos, there's a rivalry, and this is how you build a rivalry in the new conference. You have games like this. So it is going to be a protected game where they play it every year. So next year in Manhattan, CU will get another shot. But Kansas State's a really good football team. I said this last week, got a ton of respect for them. I'm not necessarily torn up about the loss. I think they can learn a lot from it because they didn't play well. I mean, let's just be real. They didn't play well on either side of the ball. They gave up a ton of plays and they missed a ton of plays, and they lost by 3 at the end of the game. And they made another crazy 10-point comeback down 24-14 when everybody was counting them out. You know, everybody can like point the finger at Shador, but without him, they don't make a comeback. They had 4 of their top players get hurt. You know, Travis got hit on the shoulder. The Amario Miller broke his ankle.
Jimmy Horn
got hurt, and then they lost another kid also. So they're playing with a bunch of backups, and he's still routing them up. So I think there's a lot to grow on here. And look, Arizona is a team that has fallen off this year. They're not as good as they were last year. So you think that you could go to the desert and get that game and hopefully play well. And then you got Cincinnati at home before you have to play Utah. And Utah lost to Arizona State Friday night. So the Big 12 is wide ass open, bro. This conference is fucking nuts.
It is wide open. Let's play the other side. I got to be the asshole and critique a little bit.
No, it's all good. I knew this was coming, and they deserve it, bro. I mean, they gave up over 200 yards.
I want to be clear, though.
Like, it is what it is.
Yeah, I want to be clear, though. I hate the person that comes out after the fact. That's why I do preemptive predictions. That's why I talk about shit.
You're a preemptive striker.
Yeah, and that's why I hate the motherfucker that waits in the shadows and then waits for the team to lose. I told you Colorado's gonna lose.
I told you they were gonna lose.
I'll never be that bitch-made cat that I get DMs from every single day. What's your take on Caleb Williams now? He's not a bust anymore. Shut the fuck up. Where were you for the first 4 weeks, motherfucker, when he threw for 80 yards? But anyway.
He looked pretty good yesterday.
That's what I'm saying, though, right? That's my point. That's my whole point. Like, I'm not that guy. I don't want to be the guy that comes out and says, "Oh, what happened to Colorado?"
You're not that guy.
But let me dive into an overall thing, and you're going to get to talk to Dion and his son and all this. And I just want to know your take as a realist. He's 1-6 versus top 25 teams, and he's 0-2 in bowl games at Jackson State when it counts most. Do you hold that with any grain of salt? Like, do you think that is something that has to do with coaching at the end of the day?
Good question.
Versus the upper echelon of guys because he's winning games that he's maybe supposed to win, I guess. I don't even know if you can say he's supposed to win these games. They were just 0-4 2 years ago. So I'm trying to figure out, is he getting out coached in these big games, or are these just regular games to him?
Well, I think if you look at it from just a talent perspective, CU has more talent, like in the skill positions, but Kansas State's way better on the O&D lines. So I don't know if he got out coached necessarily, but I'm just going to use this game as a one-off. Last year, that team is so much different, and they lost so many games by one score. Now they lose this game by one score. Is it something that they think about? Maybe. I mean, yeah, maybe. But I also watched them come back from in the Baylor game. I watched them blow out UCF, and then I watched them come back 24-14 in this game and take the lead. And then the defense just, I don't know what the fuck happened on that last drive, but there's guys running into each other and they can't cover the flat route.
So quick, Matt.
Hodge is getting routed. Like, he didn't even look like he was like checked in on the play. So, I mean, Coach Prime can't play for him. And he's trying to build it so the players can take accountability, which I like. Look, I think that this was a really good game between two teams that are both going to be at the top of the conference at the end of the year. Kansas State had their back against the wall. They lose 2 games in conference. You lose 2 games in the Big 12 right now, and you might as well lost 4. So it puts both teams under the microscope on Kansas State won, but they got a lot of work to do in their secondary and, you know, making sure that they're sewed up. And CU lost, and they have a lot of work to do in their defense and the run game. And then, you know, getting Shedeur to play within the system a little bit more so he doesn't have – so we're not taking 2nd and 4 and turning it into 3rd and 30 like they did 3 or 4 times the other night. So rather than the – and I'm not saying you're doing this, but rather than the finger pointing that's going on now, it's his fault, it's Shiloh's fault, it's Shedeur's fault, it's – Prime's fault, it's this guy, it's everyone's fault. Every single player and coach has to take a big bite of this shit sandwich and eat it. And it's supposed to hurt. When you lose games, you're supposed to win. And you played as bad as they did, and they still had a chance to win like that. It's supposed to sting and hurt. And you're supposed to get angry when people criticize and question what you're doing. Now, do they have a big game problem? Yeah, CU's had a big game problem for years, bro. It's not just Coach Prime. It's what it is. Like, this is the next hill they have to get over. That's why I said, like, I think that Arizona's a winnable game, and Cincinnati's a good team, but I think that's a winnable game too. They're 4-2 as well.
That's what they got next.
They're at Arizona, Cincinnati, and then they have Utah at home. And I'm pretty sure that's how it lines up. And I mean, Utah is coming off of a loss to Arizona State, and Dillingham's got them fucking rolling. Everybody picked Arizona State to finish dead last. They lost 55-3 to fucking Utah last year, and they ended up winning that game Friday night. I'm telling you, that white boy running back, he's a bad man. That fucking kick and play, boy. So I think that this conference is going to cannibalize itself like we thought. I still think that CU finishes somewhere around 8-4, 9-3, even with this loss. And look, there's a lot that they can learn from this and get better. If they hang their heads and like dwell on the loss, then they deserve to lose again. Yeah, you know, they've gotta find what they did well and hang their hat on it, and then they've got to actually go and fix this shit that they didn't do well. I thought they had it fixed at UCF. It reared its ugly head again. Negative 29 yards rushing is the worst rushing attack in the history of Colorado football.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So, like, I can't sugarcoat that. I can't make it sound good for the Prime Sexuals. I can't sugarcoat it for Coach Prime. I can't, like, that's what the stats say, negative 29 yards rushing. And in the media guide, that says dead last. Worst rushing performance in the history of Colorado football against a team that ran the ball down your throat, and you only lost by 3, and you had a chance to win. So,
and that's my biggest. And I don't believe in moral victory, but it's like you played that bad. You didn't have your best player in the world for most of the game. You didn't have probably your second best weapon in Horn, I would say. You could argue, but second best weapon or whatever in Horn, you play horrible on defense, and you're up with under 2 minutes left in the game against a ranked opponent. I mean, I don't know. It's a lot to learn from.
There's no such thing as like a win when you lose.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they can take a lot out of this and move forward.
Right.
Whereas last year, I felt like when they would lose a one-score game, it would just be like, fuck, man, we can't win. And now it's like, well, we should have. And that, now we can take this into Arizona, and hopefully that they've given up. Arizona went on the road and won at Utah, and then they've given up 40 points back-to-back weeks. So,
hey, real quick, let's transition. I want to go through a couple other games. Before I do, though, we had an argument on here about Travis Hunter. We don't disagree that he's the best player in college football, but what we agree with it or don't agree with is transitioning to the next level. I don't believe he'll be what a lot of people think he'll be. And I think we saw it the other night. I don't believe he can sustain the injuries and the body type that he has in the NFL. I don't believe it's sustainable. This is why I say he won't be what we all think he'll be. A lot of you guys think he'll be in the NFL. But having said that could be an argument in itself. But having said that, are you at the point where you say, all right, Deion, I know you're like a father to him, your own two sons, well, all your other sons as well, and you're a father figure to these guys. Is it time to be a father figure to Travis and say, it's time to go to one side of the football here? Because if I'm a coach, to be honest, Matt, I put him at wideout, and I fucking break all the records in the country with Shador, and I get this motherfucker the rock, and I keep him upright, and I just feed his cat the ball, and maybe we'll throw him on nickel on a few times here and there, but I'm starting to transition him towards one side of the ball or the other. That's my personal first thought, just to keep the kid somewhat healthy for draft day. Like at this point, I just see his body deteriorating. And you and I know, Matt, you can't do this 12, 13, 14 games a year times 150 snaps. I mean, we've never seen it, Matt. We got to just at one point say, you know what, dog? We've seen it. You fucking beat all our expectations, Travis. No one's arguing. Like Weddle, everybody. We've never seen this kid before. But now, though, Matt, it's time to not just run the horse into the ground. Let's be honest and be a coach now going forward and saying, I got to transition this kid for the betterment of himself. And now we can let's just outscore everybody. Put his ass on offense. And let's fucking outscore you. I mean, I'm just giving you my perspective and thought. But where you at with it?
Well, look, I don't want to see anybody get hurt, obviously, but this isn't Coach Prime pushing him to play both ways. This is Travis.
Yeah.
Travis is on Coach Prime's ass to play both ways.
Like, we mentioned that.
And like all the people in the chat, like now Travis is a bust. Do you even watch football, you fucking idiots? So,
hey, Matt, to your point, that's our point, though. Like, but when is the adult in the room say, all right, listen.
Well, it would probably be smart this week to hold him out of practice and see how he feels at Arizona. If he needs to miss a week, he misses a week. If not, then you play him one way. I think that if that would have been like the Big 12 title game or a game to get into the playoff, he would have played. But it's smart to be able to change your plan. Like Don Shula said this a long time ago. Your plan could be the best plan in the world, but it ain't worth shit if you can't change it. So there's like this narrative out here in the world that if you do one thing, you can't change it up and go the other way. And that's ridiculous. Like if I have been saying that Travis can play both ways this whole time, and he just got hurt, and now I had to step back and go, maybe we should just play him one way. That doesn't make me a hypocrite. That makes me a good coach. So I think that a lot of it's going to be on Travis. I think Coach Prime, to right or wrong, will look at Hunter and say, okay, can you play? And if Travis says yes, he's going to let him go do what he's been doing. And honestly, look, what happens with Hunter at the NFL level is not Coach Prime's issue. It's going to be Travis's issue to deal with at the next level. Right now in college football for 1 year, I think you're going to see more of the same. I don't think he's going to come off the field a whole lot if he's healthy.
How many games did Travis miss last year?
He missed 2 because of the cheap shot.
So there's 2 games. So, I just don't feel like, in my opinion, at this point, that he's like an injury prone guy. And
that was a cheap shot last year. That was
a cheap shot last year. And he only missed 2 games. He played 10 out of 12 games. So it's like, okay, I mean, to me, to this point, him playing on both sides hasn't led to some extreme, big time injuries or concern, at least for me as a fan. I feel like guys like this, and I'm gonna compare it to like the dual threat quarterbacks of the league, the Lamar Jackson as an example. It's like the very few times when this cat does get hurt, all the naysayers who don't really believe in the quarterback running the ball and being a dual threat, they point their finger and say, see, that's what was our concern. That's why he shouldn't run the ball, because he's going to get hurt. It was like, well, everybody gets hurt. It's football. We all get hurt. I don't care if you play one side, both sides, quarterback.
Look at Aiden Hutchinson yesterday. Aiden Hutchinson just rushing the passer and he snaps his leg. That's terrible.
It's terrible. Right? It's happened. So my point is saying that, bringing it all full circle, is that, yeah, Travis got hurt this weekend, but I don't know if it's tied because he's playing both sides of the ball. It's just he football.
And like people were talking like he was tired. It was in the second quarter. He was running a crossing route, and the safety got him right on the head of his shoulder. So I would guess it's either a terrible stinger, or like I don't think it's a labrum, because the labrum's on the inside of your shoulder, or like an AC joint. Right. And that's I've had those. You've had those.
I'm just projecting, guys. I'm just projecting. Like I'm a coach first, and I care for my kid. So I'm just looking at it as, this kid is playing 2 fucking football seasons while you guys play 1. Just so you guys know, okay? First of all, he missed 4 games at Jackson State, okay? Then he got a lacerated liver last year and missed 3. And now this year, we don't know what's going on. And how much does he really practice every week?
He doesn't practice.
He doesn't practice during the week. How are you going to
he doesn't need to, though, bro. When you play at that level, I don't need him to practice.
I don't agree with that, dog. We're talking about going to the NFL, Matt.
But hold on. When he gets to the NFL, again, that's not Coach Prime and Travis's problem, CU's problem anymore. That's Travis in the NFL. I'm saying right now, there are certain guys, and Travis is one of them, the running back at Boise State. You think he's doing a ton of practicing every week?
Right. No, but listen, this guy's body type's not – he can't not practice or at least do something.
But look, there's been one circumstance where he's got hurt playing football. The cheap shot by Blackburn, that wasn't a football play.
No, he got hurt in Jackson State. He missed 4 games, bro. I remember.
Okay, well, I didn't watch one fucking ounce of Jackson State, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, I'm just talking about injuries. Yeah.
I'm saying, like, he's gotten hurt once in a game playing football. The Blackburn shit is the biggest cheap shot I've ever seen. So I'm not going to count that from he's been playing. And other than that, he's done this in every single game he's played in. He's gone in and been the best player on the field on both sides of the ball and played well and gone out unscathed. And I'm not saying he's going to play Saturday, but I can almost guarantee you he's there Saturday night, and he goes off because now people are doubting him. And it's just going to put more fuel into this. Like, It's like when you hit Shador. Like the other night, K-State, they were up 24-14. We were down inside the red zone. They cheap shot Shador and hit him late, and he goes off. And before you know it, it's 28-24. All you did was piss him off. So I think that there's a lot of holes for CU to fix, obviously. But you know what? I'm just going to say this. I'm just going to say this. 2 years ago when they were 1-11, and I was up there giving fucking speeches trying to get this group motivated, and I was embarrassed as an alum after being there when I was there where we were playing the Big 12 titles and everybody's in the NFL and it meant something. To be in the position now where we're relevant and we're talking about it every week and we've got NFL players on the field and every game's on national TV and you can't fucking you can't not watch. Was that not super exciting the other night, Smitty? I know they lost, but goddamn, that game was awesome.
I was every game on the side. Oh my gosh, Shador! I think Colorado's going to do it.
Every game was fucking kick ass. So next week's on national TV. The week after that's on national. Every game's going to be on national TV. So I think that I'm pretty happy where the program's at. Look, Kansas State is an unbelievable program. I've sent God knows how many players there, from Dalton Reisner to now Jake Stonebreaker. So, we have a great relationship with them at 6-0. I love the way they do things, and I'm glad to be back playing them, man. I mean, that used to be a fucking trench fight. Every time we played them, it was a dog fight. And if you didn't show up, they beat the shit out of you. And if you did, you could get a dub. So it's the way college football is, man. You're not going to win every game, and it's about licking your wounds and going back to work. And look, everything's in front of K-State. Everything's in front of Arizona State. Everything's in front of Texas Tech. Everything's in front of Colorado. Everything's in front of BYU. Everything's in front of Matt Campbell and Iowa State. Everything's in front of Cincinnati.
Hey, everything's in front of everybody in this one.
I'm saying the Big 12, the Big 12.
And they watered down this parody, homie, and I love it.
Like, and look, and Coach, I know you think it's bad. I don't think it's ever been better.
Yeah, that's my thing.
I think it's awesome, bro.
JB likes it when JB likes to know, okay, these are the top 4 teams. They're gonna win for sure. Undefeated. We're gonna. I like when I don't fucking know. It's like, damn, I don't know who's gonna win this.
At all.
To me, that's exciting, not knowing.
Smitty, you couldn't be more wrong. That's not it.
Okay,
your eyes must. Do you have Stevie Wonder eyes? Because I watch football. I see football. I watch football. I don't know what you watch, but I watch football.
I watch football as well, homie.
And I don't care what teams are at top. I don't give a fuck if it was Colorado, Colorado State, BYU, and fucking Nebraska as the top 4. If it was good football across America, I would tell you, this ain't good football, homie. Let's stop. Stop.
Man, it's a lot better than it has been.
It's fucking bad. It's bad. Because
I watched 1 and 11. That was bad, dog. This is
but that's just one particular team. I'm looking at this whole thing as a landscape. This ain't good football, man, across the country. This is fucking bad. I just don't see good quality football every week. We call it parity now because we see every week we see 12 teams lose that never lost before to those particular 12 teams, and we're like, oh, it's parity. No, it's not. That's the new norm. When Appalachian State beat Michigan in 2007, that was an upset, bro. This ain't upset no more. This is the norm. This is not parity.
I don't know. Ohio State, Oregon was a good ass game. Went down to the wire. Like I saw a lot of good football.
That game was kick ass.
I know.
I think
that game rocked. You didn't like
Ohio State, Oregon right now. That
I watch
football's bad. So even when he's playing football, his brain can't even see it. Like you're not appreciating it when you see it. Oregon, Ohio State was a good ass game.
LSU Ole Miss was fucking awesome. That game kicked ass.
Listen, I get it.
Utah on Friday night. That game kicked ass.
I'll be on the boat more often than not. Let me just tell you.
Well, look, I understand that, but I'm looking at it as perspective of I want to see competitive, hard-nosed football, and I'm watching people play hard. I'm watching teams that you wouldn't think that Washington would beat Michigan on the road, and then they'll go to Iowa City, and Iowa just beat the shit out of them. It's just you can't. It's hard to predict these days, and I think that's a good thing. I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily. The NFL is really vanilla, and it's. I guess some of the games are good sometimes when. Tampa Bay and New Orleans was interesting yesterday, but I don't know if it was good.
It's all bad.
I'm more of a college football fan than an NFL fan. I will say.
Yeah, I'd probably say the same thing. I just think football overall is bad. What's your take, real quick, as you leave? I know it's time to go. We got to take commercial. What's your take on BYU and Iowa State on the other side of your division? Both of those teams are possibly facing off for a playoff battle.
Yeah, and they don't play each other either. So that's one thing about the Big 12. Like, there's a lot of teams, and all of them don't play each other. So I don't know how they're going to figure that out. But if BYU and Iowa State stay on this run and they stay undefeated, they're meeting in the Big 12 title game for a spot. And I would bet that the other team, when they lose, still gets in as an at-large because they're not going to follow the top 12 without with one loss. So, look, good for BYU. They're 30-year-old team. They got a lot of older players, but it's working. Matt Campbell and Iowa State, it is not surprising. Matt Campbell does this. Every 2 or 3 years, he's got a fucking great football team in Ames. I mean, Iowa State for years was just a walkover program. They had Seneca Wallace back in the day when we played them, and they were good for a couple of years, and they give you a fight, but you could always find a way to beat them. Now Iowa State is just tough as fuck, and they will beat the shit out of you up front. And it's not surprising. I mean, this is what Matt Campbell does. So I will say this, bro. You better watch out for Texas Tech. Texas Tech can score with anybody, and they are rolling down in Lubbock, and they're undefeated in Big 12 play too. So, I'm very eager to see where this goes. Every week, there's nothing better than playing on a team where every week means something. Okay. Yeah. And, I've been on it. I was on a team at CU where we went through a run through the Big 12, and won the Big 12 and only lost one conference game and played for the Big 12 title. And there was a year where we lost 4 conference games and played for the Big 12 title. So you don't really fucking know what's going to happen. You just have to keep playing every week and see where the chips fall. And at the end of the year, come up for air and be like, okay, we're 8-4, we're 9-3, and we got an opportunity in front of us that we didn't think we could have. I wouldn't be surprised if just football karma works out like this. I wouldn't be surprised if CU and Nebraska are both 9-3 and playing like the Holiday Bowl or some shit.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's the way fucking football works, dog.
Yeah.
It's the way it works.
And I want to be clear.
Always got a chance back.
I want to be clear before you leave on record. I don't want to give any passes to anyone and be a hypocrite. Deion Sanders is 1-6 versus top 25 competition, 0-2 in a bowl game. But guess what? Ryan Day, with all that fucking money, is no better. So I just want to be clear here. Ryan Day is actually underachieved, overpaid as well, in my opinion. But that's basically college football in a nutshell. This guy can't beat anybody. He can't beat Michigan or fucking anyone in the SEC. He hasn't beat an SEC team yet in his career, and then he hasn't won shit. And you're talking about this the best roster in football every fucking year. I'm like, when is enough enough? When are you going to hold this guy to fucking fire? I don't understand. I'm trying to figure this out.
For everything we hold against Ryan Day, I got to give my man Dan Lanning some props. Like Danny Boy's my dude, and I know that CU fans don't like him, but I don't give a shit. He went through the ranks correctly, and he's doing a great job up there, and his guys love him.
By the way,
I love the way Dan Lanning coaches, and I'm really fucking pumped for him.
By the way, we watching that game and asked Smitty. I told that we were sitting with a guy that knows Steve Kim, and I said he just did that on purpose. And they're going,
fucking he did it on purpose.
Yeah, it's a 5-yard penalty. I told Smitty, I go, that's a fucking 5-yard penalty. I'm doing that all day long. We used to do that all the time. Take a fucking 5-yard penalty. And guess what?
I did it on purpose,
I ran off 5 seconds with that 5-yard penalty. And guess what? When he took off and ran and into the game, he would have had 5 more seconds left.
Yep. I mean, it's smart, bro. There's nothing wrong with fucking manipulating the rules to fit you if they don't say anything. Like, what the fuck? It's
not in the book. It's not in the rule book. Then I'm gonna fucking do it. So, Matt, appreciate you coming on. We're gonna take a commercial break, and we'll see you Friday.
You know it, boys. Have yourself a great week, and as always, go Buffs.
Peace.
Good one.
Let's take a commercial break. On the other side of this, we got a lot to break down, especially Whack Prescott and Dak. I think Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. We're going to break down him and them, and they and them and her and they. And then we're going to talk some more college football. But then we got a lot to talk about, especially tonight's Jets-Bills matchup.
Big time game.
Rise of Mr. Ulbrich and Todd Downing calling the plays. How does that affect Aaron Rodgers? We're going to dive into that as well with Nathaniel Can't Hackett sitting there on the sideline just charting plays. Can't wait to dive into that one. We'll see you in about 5 minutes on the other side. Peace.
Let's bring up what Mel Kiper said this morning on Get Up on ESPN. Jamie's going to love this. Check it out.
Get up from there. Now that we've sort of set the table for exactly what your problem is with it, how would you try and solve it?
Well, I grew up with the best of the National Football League, 60s, 70s, into the 80s. You're talking about deep shots, right? The go route, the 9-route post. You're talking about Terry Bradshaw in a Super Bowl hitting John Stallworth. You see Leroy Irvin diving, right, just off his finger. There's the receiver. They laid it out there, right? Hit the receiver in stride, 65-yard touchdown. It's a beautiful thing to watch. That's what I want to see brought back to the National Football League, okay? Check down kings, bubble screen sensations, boring football. Game manager, I get it, but I want to see those deep shots. That's what the NFL was built on. I grew up with John Unitas, Fran Tarkington, Ken Stabler, Darryl LaMonica. You talk about quarterbacks, Joe Namath. It was just right. Brett Favre when he was doing what he did. Burt Jones with the Baltimore Colts. You think about those quarterbacks who would throw the ball down the field. I'd say what Bradshaw did with Stallworth and Swan, Roger Staubach. That's what I want to see brought back. Say, well, you can't do that, right? Well, you got a 5-yard rule with the cornerbacks, right? The Mel Blount rule, right? Now with the push thing with Hurts, you got to be a yard back now. So don't tell me you can't have those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage than they are. I was at games where I'm thinking, hey, too high? They're out in outer space. I couldn't even find us. They're playing with 9 guys, right? Where are the other 2? Oh, the other 2, they're so daggone far back, I didn't even know they're part of the damn play. I'm telling you, we got to change this thing, and we got to have, hey, you can warn them. They come up, hey, guys, you got to get up a little bit, right? You're too far back. Warn those safeties, but you got to figure out, competition committee, somebody, Dano, somebody's got to figure out what that depth is, but it's too far back right now. The NFL is being ruined by these too high safeties.
I'm done, homie, watching that ESPN, dog.
Yeah. I know I argue with JB a lot, but not on this one. Not on this one.
There's no way, homie, that was just said.
That was just said, homie.
There's no way that was said.
That was just said, homie. He said they got to make a rule to where the refs will force the safeties to be closer to the line of scrimmage so we can see more deep threat to big time plays that he used to see when he was growing up in the 70s and the 80s, homie. I can't even, as a defensive player, homie, I can't even begin to think of how to respond to that.
Baby, can you take me to the board?
We back, JB, man. Talk to us. What's on your mind right now? What's going through your head after watching that clip of Mel Kiper?
Damn, I don't even know where to begin, dog. I don't even want to yell or nothing, man. It's just so fucking dumb. Like, the big narrative. See, you don't believe me, though. The fucking fake agendas that get pushed. Mel Kiper saying to take the safety. Who sits right here at 10 to 12 yards normally. They're saying that's too deep. So now we have to cater to the offense even fucking more. Move them up here, and it has to be a referee behind them. Get up. Move up. So now you want the safeties at 5 fucking yards, Mel Kiper? You fucking idiot. Never been right on the draft yet? You said Ryan Leaf was the guy, you fuck! Now we want safeties at 5 fucking yards? So you can throw a post to fucking Stallworth in 1967, you fucking toupee-wearing motherfucker! Holy fuck, you guys on ESPN are fucked, man! Now we have to dictate to the quarterback and quarterback. Please, I know we're all so shitty, but let's blame cover 2 the fucking times. You fucking idiot! Dan Orlovsky, you should have came on my show, motherfucker. You fuck me. You don't know shit either, sitting there in them tight-ass skinny jean pants. You fucks! You motherfuckers don't know football. Get me on there, motherfuckers. You guys fuck! All right. We are back in the building. Appreciate everybody. We got over 2,000 cats in here on YouTube. We got about 2,000 on Twitter. Shout out to everybody in here on a Monday. We're going to have our top of the world, bottom of the barrel segment today. We got a lot going on. Let's see. Bailey sent me a link. Let me send this link to Edub.
Chat, what y'all got going on today, man, on this Monday? Are y'all at work right now? Are y'all headed to work? Or y'all work the night shift? I want to know, first of all, where y'all watching from? Drop your city down in the chat right now. Drop your city and your state right now. And then give us a quick note. I want to know where y'all watching the show at. Are you in the office? Are you on your phone? Are you in the car listening? What are y'all doing right now this Monday morning? Jay, what are you doing?
I'm just texting Shaun King, make sure to see what time, because what's up, mama? Callie's on. You know, I had to take a doctor to get her sutures pulled.
How's she doing? How's she feeling?
Oh, right now she was trying to play with Ash for the first time in a while. Yeah. So my dogs are gangsters. We're not bleeders, homie. We are scabbers. I don't do bleeding. You know, I get punched in the nose. I bleed real quick. I do like this. Bleeding stops. I scab up quick. My dog, same way, homie. The doctor said, whoa, the blood's gone, the bruising's gone, the swelling's gone after 2 days? Yeah, homie, I don't have bits in my blood, homeboy. We don't raise bitches around here.
Let's test that theory out tomorrow in studio. I'm going to punch you in your face, and we're going to see how quick the bleeding stops.
It would stop instantly. And then you'd break your wrist. You'd break your wrist and quit the show.
While we're waiting here, though, 5 Hour Energy is brought to you by the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty, man. 5 Hour Energy Extra is the drink that you need to start your week off on the right foot. It's Monday morning. You guys are tired. You had a long weekend of partying, drinking, and now you got to go into the office with that boss that you just hate. Just gets on your nerves. 5 Hour Energy is the drink for you. Get your energy going, get your mindset the right way, and give you the fuel you need for the day. Use promo code and tell them that Coach JB and Big Smitty sent you to them.
We need to do a commercial. We've done like 20 commercials, and we have never even talked to 5 Hour Energy. But anyway, contrary to belief, let's dive into a lot going on here. She said, dive right into it. We got a lot going on. Let me look at this rundown real quick because we got a lot to dive into. Let's dive into this first thing first, though. Kirby Smart apparently pushes a player. Now, I've done a little deep dive in it. He did not go at the kid at all. What we're going to see is like a figment of your imagination because he was hot at his own D coordinator. He was rushing over to his DC. The QB was coming off sideline, hits him. So let's make sure we're clear. This is not another DUI arrest. This is just he was going at
I don't know why you laugh a little bit on me.
I just realized what I said. It's not another DUI arrest. Get it? So anyway, he was going at his DC, if you notice, and then the kid walks in front of him. See, he's still yelling at his DC, by the way, right here. So that's what I've heard. That's what I'm going with.
I mean,
and if you notice, the kid wasn't too affected. He kind of knew probably because he just kept walking. He didn't even trip.
I mean, I hear you. That's cool. I'm not saying like fire him or he should be punished, but two things can be true. Yeah, your energy and your anger was pointed towards your coach. Obviously, I see how you're yelling and your eyes and your visual, but you did push the player though. Like regardless of the intentions or the why or whatever, he was such in an enraged moment and in the zone that he didn't see or know who was in front of him. He just knew that I want to get from point A to point B, which is my DC or my coach or whatever right here, and whatever obstacle is in front of me, it's going to get out the way. So he did push him. Now, is it a big deal? No. Have I been pushed by a coach before, at practice or whatever? Yeah, it's happened before. Like, so it's not that we're men. It's not that big of a deal. It shouldn't be like no big fuss. Shouldn't be no fines. He shouldn't have to apologize or speak on it. But he did push him, technically speaking. Yeah. That's a fact. Like, we just saw it. There's no way to, like, go around that. It did happen.
So what are you saying?
I'm just saying it happened.
So let me ask you this, though, because I know this is a player and empowerment world, and everybody defends players, including yourself. If that kid were to push Kirby back, what would have been your take?
The player would have been in the wrong.
Interesting. Here's what I want to address real quick. I want to address all the chat because everybody's going to say, oh, so if the player would have pushed him, JB, you'd have been all over the player, blah, blah, blah. I would have been all over the player. This is why, though. First of all, as the head coach and the grown man on the other sideline, my players knew, and that's why my players never pushed another coach or got into another fight. We've never had a bench-clearing fight under my watch in 23 years of a coach. You know why? Because the players knew I was going to handle that. I was going to defend them.
Right.
I would have choked Kirby Smart out.
Right.
And my players knew that. And there's a precedent set. My kids aren't going to be shitbirds and do disrespectful things to adults because that's the precedent that we're going to make sure.
Even when the adult is wrong, like you said.
Even when the adult is wrong. I'm handling the adult because he's a shitbird, not you.
Agreed.
That's the problem now, though. That's where we're missing in society. That's what we're missing in coaching. That's what we're missing in the adults in the room not being the adults in the room because we're now fanboys and we allow it, not coach it. we're sucking their dicks and kissing their asses so they don't transfer, and then we're giving them money, and we're player empowerment, we're enabling them, which are creating entitled kids instead of teaching them life lessons as we go down the line. Because if he did that to a cop that pushed him, we already know how that ends up. You're dead or in jail. Let's be real. So let's teach it now and not after the fact, because I don't want to see any more tweets that say T's and P's, young kings and queens. I'm tired of seeing that shit. Let's be proactive and start teaching it now instead of reactive and start sulking at it later.
Shout out to the player for handling it perfectly.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Too many times we go at the players for doing something. He handled it perfectly. So,
by the way, that's the same Mississippi State team that got beat by 50 by Toledo, who just got beat by Buffalo, which game you called.
Yep.
Got beat by Buffalo. We need to start talking about Georgia and all the outside noise that may be creating some inside noise, because Georgia's not playing very well. I'm just being honest. They struggled with Mississippi State last night. They struggled Saturday with Mississippi State. Let's be real. And that's not a very good football team. And they've struggled against Kentucky, who Vandy just beat. They got beat by Alabama, some say handily, for most of the 4 quarters until the end. And then
Bama just struggled 2 weeks in a row. Lost last week, and they barely beat South Carolina. This was Georgia and Bama. Let's be real.
But let's look. I told y'all Clemson played Georgia again. Clemson's running that ass.
Hey, I gotta apologize to Clemson, because you remember week 1, I was the one on here. I said, man, I think Clemson ain't gonna ever be the same. They're no longer the top dog. Yada yada yada. I look stupid today because Clemson looked like the real deal. God bless you. You all right?
They're building a culture in Clemson, and he's doing it his way. He's doing it his way. He ain't bowing down to the culture. He's not bowing down to the fucking portal. He's doing it his way. Shout out to him and Matt Rule in Nebraska. For doing it.
I didn't think you was a Dabo guy, really.
I've always came on the show. You look at my record. Look at my record. Yeah, I've known Dabo a long, long time. 2007, true story. Dabo was the wideout coach at Clemson. Head coach was Tommy Bowden. Kid named Marquish, Markish.
I like that.
One of the best players I've ever had out of South Carolina. Kid out of South Carolina, Marquish Jones. Freak. Signed a letter of intent with both Bowdens.
Wow.
Bobby Bowden, Tommy Bowden.
Yeah.
And everybody's going to say, what? Yeah, he signed with Florida State and he signed with Clemson. So guess what? The NCAA made his scholarship null and void. Dabo calls me as a young whiteout coach and said, JB, I got a kid for you. And I go, really? He goes, just get him back to me. Send some to Compton College. I'm the head coach at Compton, the youngest junior college head coach in the country. I take Marquise Jones. I had Reggie Dunn, who's now the wideout coach at Utah, who also played in the NFL. Reggie Dunn, by the way, holds an NCAA record. He had 2, not 1, but 2 100-yard kickoff returns in the same game versus Cal. So he was at Utah. I had a lot of guys at Compton. We were loaded, 8 NFL guys. And you know what? Brought him out, put him in a crib in the hood. Great kid, man. Always smiling. He was so fucking fast, but he weighed like 215, 220. Legs like tree trunks. South Carolina kid, though. But Dabo sent me that kid, and I've had a relationship with him ever since. Weirdo cat. Different cat. Introverted, a little different cat. But you know what? He's doing it his way. He's not trying to keep up with the Joneses, and you got to respect it at one point or another, whether you win or you lose. 6 weeks ago, we were talking about he needs to keep up with the Joneses and figure out recruiting and get into the portal and
get
all
some
this.
brothers on the field and all.
We did a video. How's it going now, though?
Right, they balling right now. That's what I'm saying. Right, number 10 in the country, only lost 1 game. They looking like Clemson. So my bad, Dabo. You know, I can't count out Dabo, one of the all-time greats. You know, I was counting out how he, you know, what things were looking like and just the players on the field. But I can't count out Dabo. He's been doing it for too long, so shame on me. So I'm a man enough to come on here and be like, you know what, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just texting Bailey, like reminding him because I probably should have reminded him before today. Shout out to everybody in here, man. We got a lot going on today. I have an echo.
I have an echo. I think it's gone now. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. I think I'm good now.
3.
Hold on. Testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's still there. Lamar Jackson is a beast.
Is that you? Anyway, let's dive into. We got a lot going on. Nick Sirianni.
Oh man!
Hold on, timeout. Before I'm going to make sure we're clear here because Jeff Nadu said I look like Nick Sirianni yesterday, and and he said I look like somebody straight out of
Compton,
History X.
The racist. Oh man! Oh.
Why are you laughing, homie?
Take your hat off real quick, please. Take your hat off real quick.
Nah.
Take the visor off real quick.
First of all, homie. Let's give me that side profile like this, homie.
You look just like him.
First of all, let's be clear. Look at my get up. He has that American History X profile though. See, mine's a whole nother profile. He has that look, Smitty. Like that look for him actually looks like American X is the way it's because he's not really shaved. He gets blends in with his
skinheads.
Yeah, that's me. No, they cats know I'm swagged out.
Y'all look very, very
similar. Why? Because we white?
Very similar. Same head and facial structure, similar nose. Obviously, the haircut's very similar. You're more gray because you're a lot older than him. But other than that, man, like if you was to dye your beard a little bit, oh man, body type, flabby stomach, flabby breast, no muscle definition.
I don't have flabby, nothing no more. And we don't call that. Men don't say breast.
I know. I said it for a reason.
No, you didn't.
I said it for a reason, homie. Words matter, homie.
You got a little femininity in you. But
words matter. I have pets.
Say titties, homie.
You have breasts, homie. It's a difference,
we can say titties. You can say titties, homie. You can say titties.
Chad, what do y'all think? Does Sirianni and JB look alike? Keep it real. I know y'all love JB. I know y'all be all over his ball sack, but keep it real. Do they favor a little bit? Keep it real.
No.
Don't be scared.
No. And anyone that says so was in that backdrop over there. Look at those fucking fanboy dick riders over there. Just, oh my God, Sirianni. By the way, 4 years ago when he was on the podium, I came on this show and I said, that's a weirdo fuck too. I said, who hired this guy? But what do I know?
Lucy said y'all look like cousins.
Lucy, no more wheel for you. Take you out the wheel. Let's dive into, I want to dive into something real quick though. And this is Lucy's Dallas Cowboys. And where the fuck is Eddie Manyweather at now, motherfucker? Where you at, Eddie Manyweather? Oh, motherfucker, always coming on this motherfucker talking about the goddamn Cowboys. Where's your motherfucking ass at, Eddie Manyweather? I can't wait. Where you at? I'm going to wait for this motherfucker. I ain't saying nothing until Eddie Manyweather shows his motherfucking ass up. Where your motherfucking ass up, homie?
The show is not moving on until we see Eddie in the chat. We're not saying a word.
Where you at, Eddie?
Eddie.
Because I know how ass motherfucking Dak Prescott is. You know how ass he is? You know how ass Dak Prescott is?
How much is he? How ass is he?
What?
Huh?
That much ass. That's how fucking much ass Dak Prescott is, homie. What are you looking at, homie? Dak Prescott is ass. And this guy got beat 47-9 on his birthday. This motherfucker just had a massive stroke in that picture.
Oh, my God.
That motherfucker had a massive stroke in that picture we were watching right there. That motherfucker, look at him, Smitty. That motherfucker had a stroke. He was like, had a stroke, homie. His whole life expanded from his body. This motherfucker's soul was snatched out. Look at him, Smitty.
JB's insane, man. JB is insane.
Hold on, homie. This cat's worth $13 billion or some shit. How are you caught on camera, Smitty, like this? By the way, motherfucker did not move or breathe during that picture for about 6 minutes, and everybody thought he died. This motherfucker's like, Smitty, can you imagine this motherfucker, what's going through his head right now? Let's take a look. Let's go in chronological order on what's going on. So he's having a stroke at this moment at 47.9, okay? Listen to this chronological order breakdown. We should clip it. Here we go, right off top of the dome. 1995 comes and goes. Barry Switzer replaces Jimmy Johnson. They win a Super Bowl, and that was it. So now he has a stroke, Smitty, look. And this is what he remembers. I'm going to try not to move my mouth. Troy Aiken, where you at? Jimmy Johnson, I'm sorry. Holy shit. I just signed Dak Prescott to $60 million a year? Holy shit. I got 6 kids out of wedlock, and the kids are 21 years old and I'm fucking, and now they're suing me? Holy shit. Micah Parsons is going to do a podcast about me tomorrow? What am I going to do? All this time, the motherfucker having a stroke. Oh, I just paid what? Oh, my God. And it's my birthday, and I'm getting drugged, 47.9. This motherfucker, homie, all that just went through his motherfucking mind, homie. And I signed CeeDee Lamb too, and he hasn't caught a ball in 3 weeks. What the fuck are we doing? And now the motherfucker, the son hit him up. And so Smitty, listen to this one. It gets better. The son next to him hits him. Dad. Oh, fuck. And I have your fucking ass to pay for it. And then the motherfucker had a coronary heart attack. He also has a deadbeat son that doesn't do shit. And he's like, holy fuck, I just realized I'm fucked. Smitty, homie. God, dog. Look at this guy. I don't feel bad for him, but God.
You gonna pray for him?
Nah, I did that in lieu of it. We'll do a baby Jesus prayer later. We'll find something else to do it for. I might have one. But, man, dog.
Real quick before we move on, though, how ass did you say Dak Prescott was?
Ass, gas, and cash. KD, if you don't know about KD, go get you the KD album. Came out in 94. Go get that. It just dropped. Ass, cash, and gas. That's it. That's her. That's Dak. Smitty, you gotta stop paying these dudes before the season, homie. I'm just being real shit. I mean, look at this. I can point out 8 guys right now that we paid before the season that are absolute ass, gas, and cash. I mean, Brandon Ayuk, you fit in them jeans, homie. Trevor Lawrence, you fit in them jeans, homie. Hey, AJ Brown, you ain't fucking played but 2 snaps. You fit in them motherfucking jeans. We paid your ass too. Woo, jiggle that thing. Hey, guess what? Who else we pay? There's a lot of you motherfuckers that fit in them jeans this year. But remember, you could have waited after the season for all of them. All of them, Smitty. Dak Prescott, you could have waited until after the season and Jerry Jones wouldn't be looking like this motherfucker just had a stroke.
Only problem is, JB, you wait till after the season. Now Dak's a free agent. Let's say Dak balls out. Y'all makes NFC Championship or whatever. Now he's free. He can go where you want to go. Now you lost your franchise quarterback. So it's a risky business. Either way, it's risky. I get it, but
I wish Mina Kimes fit in them jeans. I'd fuck with her at that point.
She's a married woman with a kid. Respect her. She has a kid. She has a husband. Respect both.
I just wish she fit in them jeans. Listen, man. I don't know. He looks like he was just like, let's say he doesn't have a stroke. Let's say he didn't have a stroke right there. What face do you see there?
He just
like to me, he's like this too. Like, I'm gonna kill the fuck out of McCarthy and Zimmer. I'm gonna choke the fuck out of the motherfucker when I see him in the hallway later on.
I saw a post game, him and the team they were walking. It was dead silent. It was a video.
Yeah.
I think I retweeted. It was just, nobody was talking nothing. So Jerry was walking real good, fast, moving. Look kind of young, like he's about to go fire some people. Like he looked good. I think right here he's just so disgusted and almost in a shock, where he's just sitting here like I cannot believe.
Did you hear Rex? First of all, I don't know if anyone knows the backstory. Rex Ryan and Zimmer hate each other.
I didn't know
Rex Ryan on ESPN. He's like the non-woke on there. He's calling motherfuckers out. Did you hear him this morning?
No,
I
didn't.
Call out Zimmer. Anyway, you need to go watch the Sunday show when we do our pregame football show with Shaun Salisbury and Jeff Nadu, because I don't know if I could have been more accurate with my breakdown and assessment yesterday than I have been in a long, long time. And it doesn't get the notoriety that this show gets and stuff. It's not as big yet. But just real clear, Bailey, did I not call the Cowboy-Lions game to a T? Not only did I break it down to a T, Smitty, and call what was going to happen, I said it was going to be an absolute mud stomping, and this is the end of the Dallas Cowboys. I said it on the Sunday show. We can clip it, and I'll show you. I also called every other game I was right on except for the Raiders fucking losing to the fucking Steelers. I went with my gut because of Aiden O'Connell. I was a little hyped. And I called that game I missed on, and I missed the Saint Buck game, which was a shootout for a while. It was a back and forth. But other than that, I was dead on at balls accurate, as they say. I was dead on balls accurate. And my lock pick of the week was the Packers. They dominated the Cardinals, like I said they would. And why they would? I said Dobbs coming back would be the key reason. Everybody's like, what? Dobbs came back. What'd they do? What did he do? Go look what he did. And not only when he didn't catch the ball, I told him on the show, they're going to separate and spread everything out now that he's back. And it's going to open up other things. What did it do? But what do I know? I don't know shit, homie.
You love being right, don't you? You love that feeling.
You know why? Because everyone only comes at me when I'm wrong. So nobody gives me credit when I'm right. So I'm going to do it myself. Fuck you.
I give you credit when you're right.
Yeah, you do. But I'm going to say fuck everybody else because they won't put me on mainstream media. They're scared of me. So we'll blow it up from here.
As they should be, JB.
Not really. They're just scared.
They should be scared of you, JB. I'm scared of you.
I wouldn't be scared.
I ain't scared of you.
Smitty, I would be wanting to come bring you. If I was an outside guy, big time producer, I'd be trying to get Smitty and JB on ESPN. Now I don't want to go to ESPN, but I'm saying as far as a platform like that, like
you said, if you ran that network,
I ran that network, yeah. But you're not ready for that conversation. All right, let's dive into something real quick though. Before we got Shaun at 8. Bailey update. Shaun will be on at 8. EW at 8:30. And
I'm going at 9.
Yeah, I like the show kind of like this because like Monday's usually back to back. So I get to calm down and cook you here and there. Let me ask you something. Deshaun Watson, give me your take on him real quick because if you better keep it real on this show right now. Go. I'm gonna wait. Go.
I mean, I think Deshaun Watson's still the top 5 quarterback in this league. I just think that the situation. No.
You know that would have been your take a year ago, though.
No, it was a real take a couple years ago for sure. A couple years ago, it was a real take.
No, last year you would have said that.
No,
that would have been your take. And it was coming off so fluently just now. You were go ahead and finish what you were going to say.
I'm gonna finish for you.
I'm gonna finish for you. The circumstances outside, too much noise, but he's still a top 5 talent, JB. He's not gonna drop back. He's got all these allegations. You know, he's got to deal with all these payoffs and pay everybody under the table off. But he's still a top 5 talent, JB. You can't deny, JB, what he did in Houston 17 years ago. He's still the guy. That's what you would have said a year ago.
I would not said that last year at all, man. I'm not like some big Deshaun Watson guy. Listen, I just think, and we've kind of agreed on this, there needs to be a change. I understand they're paying him $230 million, but at this point, that money gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to look at that like money spent, bad investment. It already happened. It's gone. So how much longer are you going to just continue to just do the same thing and expect different results? And now, listen, I'm not even saying or thinking that it is all on Deshaun Watson because I watched some of these games And I'm like, man, receivers is dropping balls. Amari Cooper seems uninterested. The team ain't all the way there. There's a lot of factors going on, but we all know how much impact the quarterback has. You are the leader of that team, the leader of that room. And when the other teammates, the people around you don't feel that energy and don't feel like they have a real chance of winning week to week, it affects everybody. It's a trickle-down effect on everybody, and there needs to be like a major change sometimes to get things moving. So
Can I defend the player for once?
yes, please.
Stop saying that these cats are stealing money. And I need to be better at saying it too. Stop saying stealing money. These owners and GMs, if they're dumb enough to pay them, stop saying they stole the money. They were given the money. If you gave me money, ESPN, and $200 million, and we bombed out on the show, you gave me the money still.
Yes,
and that's a you problem, homie. That is a you problem.
Yeah.
Not this shitbird fucking nobody that hasn't performed in 4 years and has been absolute ass, as the new pitcher that we show now has. He's been ass. Dak Prescott, Jerry Jones, who stroked out live yesterday on a game, paid that man. That bitch is crazy, homie. That Jerry Jones paid that guy, Dak Prescott, homie. He didn't steal no money. He's shitty. I told you can get the same results with fucking Cooper Rush or whatever the redheaded his name is. I said the same shit you can get from that motherfucker, but what do I know? But anyway, you paid him. He didn't steal no money. He didn't strong arm you. Trevor Lawrence, you paid that motherfucker to surf on weekends and not play football. Like, let's be honest. You paid him. So it is what it is, dog. It's a you problem, Smitty. And I don't feel sorry for the player getting the money saying he stole the money. We can say later that it of course, it's buyer's remorse and it's paid under deliverer.
You say bad investment, that's whatever. But like, yeah, as a player,
we're all overpaid. These cats are overpaid under delivering, in my opinion, every single weekend. And it now goes to college because now the college kids are getting paid. And I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a bad look for the game, in my opinion. It's a bad look for the game. If I had to pick a running back right now to start my franchise with, it would be Anthony Richardson. IR5.
I don't know how we got to that topic at all. We're talking about Deshaun Watson and the Brown, and he switched over to that. But yeah, I think it's time to start Jameis Winston. I think that you just need a good change. He's a positive leader, energy. He's gonna be good. Guy can go out there and throw the ball anywhere around the field, win you a couple games. He's gonna lose a couple games as well. He's a guy that at least can get the team rejuvenated and get the energy going. We talked about the Jets a little bit earlier. We'll bring that up here later. Jets and Bills game. We saw the Jets made a big move. Now a lot of people we don't necessarily agree with Robert Saleh getting fired in the middle of the season, but sometimes you got to make a big move like that to change the direction of your season. And you rather do it early when you still got a chance than to wait to the end of the season when there's no chance. So I just think, listen, I don't know what Deshaun Watson, what he's going through, man. To me, it's all in between the ears because the Deshaun Watson that I used to see, whether it was at Clemson or those years in Houston, was a bad boy. And at that time, he was in the conversation as a top 5 quarterback. We did look at him as a guy like a Joe Burrow, a Josh Allen, in that same breath, in that same room. But ever since the allegations, ever since he missed that season, ever since he came to Cleveland, he's just not been nowhere near close to the same guy. And I don't know, man, it's crazy, man. Like, it feels like every quarterback goes to Cleveland to die. Whether you got drafted there, whether you got moved there later on, it's just like you go there to die. And listen, I'm not a guy who just believes that, bad luck or you're on this team, you can't be good. Because, no, we've seen players turn around franchises. But, man, there's something about Cleveland where they just can't get right. They cannot get the quarterback position right. For nothing. We see Baker, he leaves there. Now he's a whole different Baker. Guys leave there and play better. So I don't know. Maybe it makes sense for Deshaun to go somewhere else, and at some point. But again, you go somewhere else, you got to take on that money. It's like, I don't know. It's stressful. If you're in Cleveland, you got to be stressed out. If I'm Myles Garrett, the best player on that team, I'm pissed because I know I'm going out here busting my ass every single Sunday, being one of the best players in the game, knowing that I'm not going to have a chance to win, and it's frustrating.
I'm sorry. I got to cut him off. Listen, what you just witnessed is top-tier acting And if you don't know, then you just don't know. You don't have a clue how talented Smitty really is. Smitty ran through that whole rendition, and he continued to talk through all you Dick Ryder haters, me laughing and showing the stat that Joe Flacco is better than IR5. The IR5 comment that I left with, he continued just to roll through that. That is top tier acting, just so you know. And that is why this show is the realest show on planet Earth. So a lot of you guys didn't realize. Oh, what's up, Smitty? I don't know if you heard what happened.
I hear that.
I picked IR5 to be my fantasy running back for coming up season.
Well, he's a quarterback, homie. So right here, this stat is misleading. It says career passing touchdowns for the coach. It says Anthony Richardson, 6 touchdowns in 8 games. Joe Flacco, 7 touchdowns in 3 games. My question for the person who made this graphic, or for JB or Bailey who decided to put this graphic on here, why does this specifically say passing touchdown? Why doesn't it say total touchdowns? Because to me, a touchdown is a touchdown is a touchdown. Last night, Justin Fields threw for 145 yards, threw no passing touchdown, but ran 2. At the end of the day, those still count the same way. 6 points is 6 points, homie. If I get in the end zone, I get in the end zone, homie. So I want to see this same stat, make this same graphic, Bailey, and I want to see total touchdowns for both. And let's see it.
Can I answer?
What, Jason?
Because passing touchdowns is what keeps guys in the league 20 years. And running touchdowns is what has this guy on the sideline.
Lamar Jackson has missed a handful of games in his career, very healthy. Jalen Hurts missed a handful of games in his career, very healthy. I got a handful of guys. I can continue to go. This is the lead now, JB. Dual threat quarterbacks is the lead. You damn near don't even get drafted top tier if you can't move around a little bit. We're seeing,
and then they're traded.
We're seeing Dane Daniels, who's about to be the rookie of the year, a guy who looks like they franchise correct for Washington. Dual threat guy. That's what the game is. So this whole conspiracy that if you can run, that you're automatically just injury prone is not the case. Now, Anthony Richardson, we know, has an injury history. We knew that from high school.
Why is Bryce Young not playing?
From all that, we know that about him specifically.
Why is the old white?
No. We gonna drop this narrative that if you can run, that you're risk for injury. No, you get more injuries as a quarterback standing your ass in that pocket. Point blank. Period. We've seen it time and time again.
IR5 is not a dual threat, though. We got to stop using that narrative anymore, that term. He's not a dual threat.
I don't know who IR5 is. I really don't. I'm not trying to be funny. I just don't know who that name is.
Say what?
I don't know who IR5 is. I have no idea who that is. So if we're talking about Anthony Richardson, call him the name that his mother gave him, or call him the nickname that he's okay. Don't disrespect that grown man. Call him something else, because you wouldn't like it if somebody calls you something else, Jason.
So AR-15 is literally a guy that's not a dual threat. He's a running back. He's a one. You give him the ball, run ISO straight down A gap. He's not a dual threat. Running backs don't throw the ball unless it's like a halfback pass or something. You know what I mean? So I don't know where you get this dual threat thing from. He's a running back. I mean, he needs to go to running back. That's what he needs to play. Because we've seen
pass of the year has been from Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, pass of the year. Wow. But he sits on the sideline for 3 other weeks. Listen, here's the thing. We're not even going to discuss it. Like, the bottom line is, I'm
my
right.
Coach won. You ain't gonna make me mad. My coach
Bryce Young is one of those young guys you discussed just now, and he got taken over by an old white. And then IR5 is another guy that's just got taken over by another old white.
He didn't get taken over. He'll be back next week. He could have played this week. If this was playoff game, he would have played.
Whites can't sit in the pocket and throw the ball. They can't play no more. And their teams, Carolina still sucks, but they're way better than they were with Bryce Young. And then you got
they still suck though, don't they? They still suck. Yeah,
but
they're still trash. Yeah,
well, let me ask you this. Okay, let's transition.
It looked totally different than it.
That
first week, 200 passing yards looked totally different than it.
Let's give the people a real debate, because it's a real show, and I want to give you guys real substance too. Dan Orlovsky tweeted out something that I wanted to bring up real quick. It's off the board on Bailey's thing, but I had to ask you this because this is a debate that is a legitimate one. Dan Orlovsky tweeted out something about, because they tag me in it now, anything Dan does. So they said, Dan said, why aren't you playing Bryce Young? Why aren't you starting him? Why aren't you getting him reps and experience and playing this guy? Okay, so that was last night. And I want to get into that real quick and dive into why that is. because he is right on one side, and then on the other side, as the head coach of a new organization and a rookie head coach at that, and Dave Canales, he's like, fuck, we actually move the ball, we get first downs, we actually score some points. We're not good, but we're way better than we were with Bryce. I'm thinking that's the way the head coach is thinking, and probably on the other side, the owner is allowing the head coach to do that. So I want to really get your take, because if you're not going to play Bryce Young, to Dan's point, that means the owner and Dave Canales has said at some point, let's trade him, right? Or am I tripping? I'm going to ask Eric Weddle that, because he dives into this GM space. You're either telling me that you're trading him, you're either going to put him on the trade block now or after the season, because you cannot sustain, to your point, playing the Red Rifle for a whole year. He's not going to be the quarterback next year for a whole year. Like, he's 40. He's pushing fucking 38 or whatever.
And they're still losing.
And they're still losing.
They don't look good. So it's like, all right. It's like
they're still 1-5. Yeah.
It's like if I'm going to lose anyway, then I might as well go with the young guy who potentially may be my future. Maybe he's not. I don't know. But again, I'm an advocate of put the guy out there. Let them bump their head. Let them figure it out. We're seeing with Caleb Williams right now. It's like night and day. The first 3 games, the last 3 games, is night and day of how he's looking as a player. These guys have to learn. Me as a player, when I went out there, as a true freshman at Ball State, man, I was bad. I was a bad player. I knew what got to be in, but I was a bad player. I got my reps. I got better. Sophomore year, night and day. Way better player. Junior year, night and day. Way better. You need the reps. Yes, sitting back and watching, you can learn a little bit from that, but ain't nothing like getting thrown out in a fire and having to feel it for yourself. Pause. That's what you need to do. And if I'm a franchise who's rebuilding, it's not like, again, it's different if you have an Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre as like your guy, and I'm Aaron Rodgers sitting behind and I'm Wade, or I'm Aaron Rodgers starting and Jordan Love sitting back. But the Packers has had it beautifully the last 30 years. They've been blessed to get quarterback after quarterback right every single time. Most of the time, it's not like that. Andy Dalton is a good, serviceable quarterback. At his peak, he was a Pro Bowl guy. I like Andy Dalton, but like you said, he's almost 40 years old. He's on his way out. You're not going to let me see what my guy can do. And if we made a mistake after this year, maybe we try to trade him away and we try to get in the draft. But
I want to be devil's advocate. I got to play devil's advocate as the coach, though. We gave him a year last year. We gave him a year last year, and then we started this year with him. And he's still the same guy, if not worse than he was last year under a new head coach.
Your system is ass then, coach.
Well, he's a brand new head coach, though.
Your system is bad then. Figure it out. Because I saw a guy say we won't. Say we won't.
Is Shane Steichen bad?
I saw a guy go to Miami with Tua, and Tua's career changed like that. Now, obviously, he's hurt, but I'm talking about from a playing standpoint, night and day.
Is Shane Steichen ass?
With a right system.
Is Shane Steichen ass then?
He's not at all. He's not at all. Listen, say what you want about Anthony Richardson. He has a lot of flaws that he needs to work on. But the guy, it's not like we have to just getting our ass beat.
But what's the difference with Bryce Young playing, homie? What do you mean? You just contradicted yourself.
Hold on, what? No, I'm not.
So how can he play under an ass system, but then Bryce Young is not the guy? I don't get it.
What? No. I'm saying Bryce Young should play. I'm saying
I know. I'm giving you devil's advocate as to why he shouldn't play. I'm using the same terminology with IR5, why he shouldn't play. They're not ready. They need to see an old 40-year-old white play. It doesn't matter. They tried it last year with both of these QBs, Smitty. And guess what? They tried it to start this season. And guess what?
Well, Anthony Richardson was out all last year. So Anthony Richardson, he watched the guy all last year. So I'm not, how many?
That's my point. He ain't the guy. He ain't the guy then.
How many? Okay. So if that's the case, if the coach believe that, which they don't, but if the coach believe that, then cool. Go ahead and trade Anthony Richardson right now in year 2 and move on. But that's idiotic.
Let me ask you.
It's idiotic to draft somebody and trade him in year 2. Though, that's stupid.
We got to move on. But what you just said, Smitty.
We got to move on.
What you just said makes no sense, though, because you're saying that these guys are playing. It's not like they got Brett Favre ahead of them and all this. Is Patrick Mahomes better than Alex Smith? Yes or no?
Yes, he is.
Okay. Then what you're
now, like we know that now, yes.
Yeah,
we know that now.
Your take holds no water.
No. Mahomes wasn't no. It's easy to say that now.
Your take holds no water.
When Mahomes got drafted,
Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith.
When Mahomes got drafted, homie, don't try to do that. When Mahomes got drafted, he wasn't no-brainer. We know who he is. Nobody in their mama knew that fucking Patrick Mahomes was this guy. Otherwise, he would have been the number 1 overall pick. So at the time that he got drafted, this guy was raw as fuck. He was a talented guy, super raw. Alex Smith, a guy who has been to NFC championship games, played good ball for a long time. At that time, made sense for him to start.
Address this guy.
Kawhi 616. Smitty hasn't improved on this show at all. I would love for you to call in.
Can I answer?
Yeah, you go. Go ahead.
Well, no, the money's up, the views are up, the subscribers are up, the members are up, merch sales are up. So he has, contrary to your belief.
I would love for Kawhi to call in at some point later today or tomorrow.
What's his name?
I don't know. Kawhi is. I don't know what he is. You know, he looks like a stoner. His hair is fucked up. You can tell he doesn't like shower often. He kind of shower like whenever he can. Doesn't have anything that he owns himself. He lives off his mom. Lives off some girl.
Yeah, fuck him. But let me ask you something. Do you know that the Chiefs actually? That's ADHD, JV.
I like that. I like that, though. Keep going.
Do you know that they moved up in draft spots and had used draft capital to move up to get Mahomes? So to say that he wasn't a guy like IR5 coming out of college and all that shit is not really true because they moved up and traded picks. So they did pick a QB where they could have got like Trubisky. They could have went and got some other guys. They chose and moved up to get Patrick Mahomes, number 1. Number 2, Andy Reid knew, I don't care who the quarterback is, he's going to learn through osmosis by a shitty quarterback even. I'm not calling Alex Smith shitty, but he's definitely not a big-time upper-tier guy. We're going to learn. And it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. Andy Dalton, although is a real serviceable guy, we're never going to put him in the echelon of even a Carson Palmer or fucking Aaron Rodgers. He's still a guy that you can learn from. And that's why it was huge. And remember, though, Andy Dalton was the starter when they drafted Justin Fields, and I thought it was a great thing. Justin actually became better for it, in my opinion. No one wants to talk about that, though. But anyway, we got to get to our top 5, bottom 5. Any last thing you want to say?
I'm going to say for every example of that you want to show, I got another example of guys who started off the back, too. So, I mean, however way you want to do
They're
it,
all
cool.
shitty.
There's examples on both. Peyton Manning's not shitty. Cam Newton wasn't shitty. So many guys wasn't shitty. So
yeah, well, they died out.
Gary Downs not shitty. Caleb Williams ain't shitty. We can keep going.
Book still out. Oh, he was shitty.
Andrew Luck ain't shitty.
Hold on, no. You're on record.
11 to 5.
Hold on, no. You're on record. I can't let you lie.
No, we're good. Let's move on. Top 5 list.
No. I can't let you lie.
Start with me, Bailey. Bring my top 5 list up first, Bailey.
I mean, you called me out. You say I can't lie.
You actually have one more thing to say. That was my last thing. Now we're gonna move on.
But you lied. You ended up with lying. We can't end the show with a lie.
What did I lie with?
We can't end the take with a lie. I'm saying. You lied because 3 weeks ago you said Caleb Williams ain't ready. He's not very good.
I don't know if I said ready.
You're on record.
Shitty. Caleb's not shitty. I never said Caleb was shitty.
But now he's great. Now he's the best. Oh, all right. Let's move on. Let's move on now.
I never said any extreme.
Let's go. Let's move on. Top of the world. Bottom of the world.
They're 4-2 right now, and they're playing well, and they're at the top of the NFC North right now. Looking like a playoff team.
Let's get it going. Top of the world. Let's go. Show Smitty's first. Since he wants to talk all day. Go ahead. Let him talk.
I don't want to talk. I'm going to be real quick on mine. Number 5, got to go with Vandy, man. Another big-time win after getting the upset and knocking down the field goal post. They go out here and they beat Kentucky in a big-time win. You got to shout out them. They're rolling right now. Vandy might be a team that's finally, after my entire lifetime, it feels like, it's going to be a serious team.
James Franklin was good there. James Franklin was good there. Stop hating on a brother.
Next up, we got LSU. LSU, big-time win against Ole Miss. Anytime, the SEC game where you 2 ranked opponents, could have went either way. For you guys to get a close victory right there, I got to shout out LSU and get a big-time win. Number 3, Penn State. A guy on this show actually had USC winning this game, saying that Penn State every single year, they lay in it. They almost did, but then they fought through and they ended up finding a way to win this game. And to me, this is the difference between Penn State this year and Penn State of the old. They found a way to win the game that they probably should have lost. This type of win can really galvanize the troops, keep the team together, and I think this will be the year that Penn State actually beats Michigan, right? And they finally kind of take that next step. Now, when they beat Ohio State, I don't see that, but I do see them beating Michigan and getting over that hump. Number 2, gotta go with Oregon. Gotta go with Oregon. Number 2, man. I mean, they beat Ohio State. I had Ohio State winning. Obviously controversial ending of how that ended. I thought Will Howard probably should have slid a little earlier to give his team a chance to go for the field goal at least, but he didn't do it. And Coach Dan Lanning has found the way to lead that team and to motivate that team, make them believe in the system that he's put into place, and they won that game. But then number 1, got to go with Texas. I mean, to me, Texas football, Texas has been the best football team in the country all year long. They dominated an Oklahoma team. And say what you want about Oklahoma, that's been one of the biggest college football rivalries year in and year out. There's a lot of talent on that team. And for them to go out there and not just win, I'm talking about dominate. 34-3, defense balled out, offense balled out. Quinn Ewers wasn't even at his best at all. You could say he was rusty, been injured first game back, and they still went out there and dominated. They ran the ball all across that field. Special teams played well. It was just a dominant performance. So right now, Texas are my top dogs, and to me, I got to put them at number 1.
Yeah, Texas bothers me on your side. It bothers me to the core.
Ask me, do I care? Ask me, do I care?
I said on purpose.
I know, but say Smith, do you care that it bothers me?
I was hoping you would say that. Because that's what you always say. So I was hoping that you didn't care. But Texas beat a bad team. So I can't put them at 1. Oklahoma.
It's a rivalry game, Jeff. You know it's different. Come on now.
Not really. Not like
Come
it
on
was.
now.
Not like it was, though. This Oklahoma team is bad. Venables is not a head coach, just like I said he wasn't when they hired him. Just like I said Lincoln Riley's not a head coach when they hired him. Bad. They're frauds. They're frauds as head coaches. Let's just be honest. So the Texas, that's what they're supposed to do if they're truly the number 1 team. So I couldn't put them at 1. That's my only real critique of yours. That's it. But besides you hating on the brother James Franklin, because he beat Georgia, Florida, he beat LSU at Vanderbilt. He was actually really good at Vanderbilt, by the way, contrary to your belief. But you'll just dismiss a brother head coach at Vanderbilt. But
hold on. James Frager's at Penn State now, and I'm sure I showed him love. So your whole take right there.
No, you said Vanderbilt is for the first time in your life relevant, and I just called you a liar and said no, it's not true because a brother had Vanderbilt winning.
I was over exaggerating something that you do all the time. You say something is the best or something is the worst. Obviously, I'm 30 years old. Have they been decent in 30 years? Yes, but for a large part of my life of when I say my life is being old enough to really care and watch football for a large majority, Vandy has not been a big-time team in the SEC. Those are just the actual facts. So I apologize for over-exaggerating, not being very specific. I was taking a note page out of your book, out of Trump's book, and just over-exaggerated, but I will be very specific moving forward so that people like you and people in the chat don't try to call me out. I love James Franklin. I just shout out Penn State, where he's the head coach at, instead of going to beat Michigan this year and give him credit for galvanizing the truth and getting a big-time win. But if you take that as hate, I will apologize to my brother.
All right, let's get into my list. You can show whatever one, top, bottom of the barrel, top of the world, whatever. Let's go top of the world. Smitty, Arizona State. No one thought they'd be 5-1. This youngster I've known a long time has done a good job. Kenny Dillingham has got them 5-1, and they got a big-time white boy running back looking like Larry Zonk out there. Look at this kid. His name is Boca Chokchu or whatever. He's unbelievable. And
I don't like him.
Shout out to him.
He ain't Ashton Genty.
That's how a fucking white man runs.
He ain't Ashton Genty, the best running back in the league. You look at his numbers. Look at Ashton Genty's first 6 games compared to our last 3 black running back Heisman winners. It's not even close. Derrick Henry, Reggie Bush, stats and numbers ain't even close. To the brothers. Shout out to Ashton Genty, the best running back in the game. Look at
that's how a fucking white boy runs the ball right there.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And bring up let me show you how the brother runs the ball. If Betty can bring the highlights of Ashton Genty, and we'll look at the difference. Continue.
No, it can't. Too late. Why am I echoing?
Are you echoing?
I don't know. I hear some feedback.
Oh no, here's some feedback.
Shout out to Arizona State for beating Utah. And I'm going to dive into Utah because I got a little beef with Eric Weddle on Utah. And he'll probably agree because Eric's a real one. Vanderbilt, let's start giving Clark Lee and Jerry Kill factor is real. Vanderbilt's a real team. They're a contender. They should have beat Missouri, which was my upset pick of the week that particular week. They lost late, but they should have beat Missouri, who now probably a fraud. So, or maybe just college football is very average. But what do I know? Vanderbilt's for real. For them to win back-to-back after a high with like Shaun King said, they were drunk possibly because they're off that high after beating Alabama. This is a real football team right here that Clark Lee's creating here with the least resources, the hardest academic school in the SEC to get into, and the worst facilities. So what they're doing there is what James Franklin did a few years back. LSU beating after SC, kicking himself in his Brian Kelly showing that he's still a damn quality good football coach. He knows damn well that they should be undefeated after watching SC now with 3 losses, looking like not a very good team. He's probably like, fuck, man, what did we do game 1? And that's why he came out, and Shaun King pointed it out, who's our next guest in a minute. Brian Kelly was being really, really like sarcastic in that press conference because he probably knew SC not very good. And he was like, we fucked this up. BYU, shout out to my good friend Kalani Salak, because goddamn. Kalani Sataki.
Tease your homie. Fuck you.
Kalani Sataki's doing a hell of a job there with the Mormons and all the MILF hunters up there in Utah. And he's got BYU rolling, man. That's what you're supposed to do. You put your foot on someone's neck and you fucking make them fuck!
Anytime he try to get in his rant, he fuck up.
And I never fuck up like
That's
that.
Karma, homie. That's karma, homie.
Usually I get it out.
That's karma, homie. That's karma.
Karma for what, homie?
Hey, I love when JB get mad. He started a couple weeks ago. He just yelled out, fuck. That's one of my favorite things that he does on this show now.
Pause for you. BYU putting their foot on Arizona's fucking throat. 41-9 or whatever, 19. I don't know what it was. It was a blowout. And then Oregon. That was the biggest win of the week, so they deserve it. Not like Texas beating a nobody. This team actually beat fucking a somebody, and they beat Ohio State. Not Texas beating Oklahoma, who's shitty, and putting them at number 1. No, Oregon beat Ohio State. It was number 2 versus number 3 in the country, and they fucking got it done. What was Oklahoma's ranking when Texas beat them? Oh, forgot.
Red River Rivalry, my guy.
What is it?
Red River Rivalry, my guy.
Say it fast.
Red River Rivalry.
All right, let's dive into it. We got Shaun King, who is actually coming out to the house this weekend. And now we got to figure out our timing because Steve Kim wants to do Football Palooza Saturday and watch all the games, cook, barbecue. I might cook. And Saturday
tacos, yeah.
But Smitty, I don't know because he's religious and he has to cater to his wife and do exactly what she says to do. So can Smitty get away on a Sunday?
Sundays is tough because one of my jobs I picked up, it's a freelance job, it's an 8-week contract. They're paying me thousands of dollars, and I basically what I got to do is I watch the game.
How many thousands?
And
How many thousands of dollars?
Thousands of dollars. I watch the game, and I got to write out a script for this podcast. I'm not on there. I'm a producer and script writer. Where I watch all the games on Sunday, and I put out this whole full script.
I got TV, homie. I got $4.
But I gotta be locked in. Like I can't be trying to pass me the blunt. I don't smoke. I don't do nothing. I gotta be locked in.
I don't smoke weed. So I'll give you a cigar that you'll fucking light backwards. But I'm just saying we gotta figure it out, man.
So you're thinking boat Sunday, your house Saturday.
Sunday might be the better day to go out there with Shaun on the boat, chill, and then come back to the house for the late evening game because Shaun ain't flying out till nighttime. We'll come back Sunday, watch the evening game, chill, smoke cigar in the lounge. Saturday we do poker, food, all the college games. So we got to figure it out because we got to get what day you may have to call wife, homie, and you might be a 2-day weekend guy this week.
You know what's crazy thing is she off this next weekend too. That's the scary thing.
Well, she needs to go kick it with her friends, homie. Let's bring in our main man Shaun King to talk about it. Shaun King, you just heard what we had the debate up. What do you want to do? Big dilemma,
Shaun. How you doing?
What do you want to do? You're flying in. What do you want to do?
Well, it just depends. Do we run this house or do we run around in this house? I mean, we'll find out.
Shaun, his crib is really nice though. Like he got a movie theater where you can watch games. He got obviously the main cigar lounge you watch games, 20 TVs, the backyard with the mist.
No, I'm saying we're gonna find out. Do you run your house or do you just run around in your house?
He tried to not hear you.
Shaun, it took you a year and a half to book a 45-minute flight to get out here. So when you talk about running households, I think we already have our answer when it comes to the King household and who runs that. But I digress.
I simply was waiting on football season.
What about last football season, homie?
Smitty, we have a special guest flying into town.
I like your lineup, though. Hey, you look clean, though, Shaun. I'm a real one. I see the lineup. I see the clean cut. It look good, brother. We got a weekend with a special guest flying into town. Smitty is on you. Can you take 2 days out of your busy schedule with your wife and give us your time? I can give y'all Saturday. And you come to the house Saturday and chill and do Palooza, and then Sunday go out on Saturday's a no-brainer. The wife already know. It's already on the calendar. Soon Shaun told me he was flying out. Saturday was already booked and locked and loaded. I told JB, I said, JB, I'm with y'all next Saturday. Boom. I just hung with JB and Steve Kim this past Saturday. I'm giving y'all next Saturday. I know y'all love me. That was 10 minutes from your house. It was a fucking. It was still a choice, homie. You wanted to see Mario Lopez from Saved by the Bell, homie. I didn't really care. Listen, he a fan of our show, homie. He didn't come out to the house or go to the boat, though. So let's figure it out. We'll figure it out off there because there's options. Like, what if we did Saturday morning? Because Steve wants to come watch Miami in the morning. Right. What if we watch some of the games for a while and then we go to the boat Saturday afternoon in the evening time? Now, that's a good plan. But Steve ain't gonna like that. Or we do something, but it'll get cooler on the water. Even if it's supposed to be y'all cool. Put a jacket on, homie. Supposed to be 83 on Sunday on the water, though. That's nice weather. And then or Sunday we go out there. I got the TV. We watch 4 football games on the TV. And then, Saturday we spend all the day. We drink, we play poker, we watch games. We got 2 days. Shaun don't leave till 11 o'clock at night on Sunday. Shaun just wants to see us. He don't care if we on the boat, at the house, or anywhere. He want to hang with his brothers. That's all he want to do. So I say Saturday. Let's focus on Saturday for now. Let's make Saturday a full-blown thing. Go to your Mexican spot, JB. Get some carne asada. So they're saying do the house. I know what we do. Hey, Shaun, I know what we do, Shaun. We'll do Saturday. We'll play poker. We'll do the cigar thing at the house. Steve Kim. We'll bring some people. We'll watch the games. We'll smoke cigars, eat. Sunday, Shaun and I will go to the boat. That's not a good plan to me. So you can fucking tell your wife, go to the farmer's market and tell her, baby, put your pants back on because you run the household. Go ahead. So it's all right. Well, Shaun and I will go to the boat. Shaun, I got a little couple. I ain't gonna say that. Damn, maybe I want to be with my wife on Sunday. You ever thought about that? Then, shout out, then. Put that fist down, homie. Shaun, hey, Shaun, let's dive right into it, Shaun. Right into it, Shaun. Do you know how much ass this is right here? Do you have any idea?
Is that a BBL or is that natural?
No, that's real.
Natural. Watch. You can see right here. It's natural. Hold on. Wait for it.
That's natural. Watch her clap that bitch on the right there. Look, that's natural. Yeah.
Yeah, she need to have one of them big tractor trailer beats when she walk backwards.
Yeah. You know how much ass that is, though? That's how much ass that is. That's Dak Prescott. That's how much ass that is. And that's this guy who had a fucking stroke live on television. Motherfucker had a stroke live, and this is how much ass it is. I got to ask you a real question. Can we stop paying guys before the season starts when it becomes a distraction? Because it's a distraction. We signed 6 guys who actually 2 of them held out. How much practice? They didn't practice at all. Ayuk, all these guys held out for how long? And then they signed them only to be ass. Why don't we sign them after the year, especially when they're still on a 1 of 2 year contract? Why don't we sign them after when I get to see them? And now Jerry Jones didn't have to die on national television live and say, oh, shit, I gave this guy $60 million to do what? And I gave CeeDee Lamb to do what? And I haven't done what? And since Troy Aikman in 95, what? That's what's going through his mind right now. I got 2 18-year-olds pregnant. What? He's going through crazy shit in his mind. Where are you at with this cat and this Cowboys team who did get no better in the offseason, Shaun? They did nothing to address their flaws. And then they got a Micah Parsons podcaster who hasn't played in 2 weeks, and he's not really elite anyway. What do you do there in Dallas? And how do they get out of this mess? Because we're headed towards a Deshaun Watson type of contract, which is bad.
You know, it's interesting because organizationally, and I know, excuse my voice, I know they didn't pay Dak until right before the season, but when you look at the moves, it looks like in their minds they think Dak is an elite quarterback. They didn't upgrade the running back room. They didn't upgrade the wide receiver group. So they basically were saying, this is Josh Allen. We can lose Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis, but the quarterback's so good, we can still win with Khalil Shakur and Dalton Kincaid, James Cook. Dak's not that guy. Like, the thing with Dak is he's not an elite athlete. He's not an elite timing guy as far as getting rid of the ball, like in kind of Brady, how Brady was not an athlete, but he could beat your blitz packages and your rush just with timing. Like, that's more of a see it, then throw it guy.
Manning, Breeze, all those guys who didn't use their feet but can beat you with their brain and their arm. We don't have that with him.
And the fact that they're not very good on defense either, this is going to be a hell of a year for the Cowboy fans. Boy, y'all in for a long
Shaun, let me
run.
ask you this. Do you think it's out of the realm to say that the Cowboys might miss the playoffs this year?
Not at
They
all.
They are missing playoffs.
Absolutely.
Oh, you're calling it out. You're saying it.
Oh, we already said it. We said it 2 weeks ago, Smitty. Oh, you were gone. You were off. But listen, I got to be honest. The Giants and the
Commanders.
Giants and Commanders could be. They're definitely going to beat the Cowboys out. The Cowboys are going to finish 4th in the division.
The Eagles don't look great, but they're winning.
Yeah, I don't know about the Giants, but the Commanders and the Eagles.
I'm saying right now, the Giants are a better football team. I watched them last night against a team that, by the way, the Bengals on offense have been one of the best in football. The Giants fucking stymied them last night to where they couldn't do shit. I mean, let's be honest. If the Giants offense has anything, this Giant team possibly is 4-1. They have done nothing. Their defense. I know, but
they'll get Malik Neighbors back, which will help.
Yeah, their defense is much.
To JB's point, that front,
Giants defense is good, bro.
That front is really good.
Hell yeah, and they're being wasted. Like, we're watching a lot of teams be wasted on one side of the ball or the other because the other side is so bad or mismanaged. Like, we're watching a lot of teams the same way, in my opinion. Like, look at some of these teams out here that have good defense, horrible offense. Good offense, horrible defense. We're missing something, and it goes back to my whole watered-down product thing. Like the Jets, look at them. They've been great on defense, shitty on offense. Look at what they're doing. They fired their coach. The Jaguars are a whole nother issue. But, Shaun, to your point, I don't know if you can now renege and have buyer's remorse with this Cowboy roster because it's too late, right? You paid them.
Oh, yeah, they stuck. McCarthy will be the domino that falls. Yeah, he'll get the blame. They'll fire McCarthy.
Well, Zimmer, too. I don't know. Bailey, if you could find Rex Ryan this morning on Get Up, go at Zimmer, because I already know they have a history. They don't like each other. But he calls Zimmer. Ryan called everybody up. But Zimmer is actually outdated. I said it 6 weeks ago. That's why he probably didn't work out at Colorado with Deion, to be honest, even though it's Deion's mentor. Zimmer has a long history with Deion. There's a disconnect with today's era of football with these NFL guys, because now colleges have gone upwards, meaning college OCs are going to the NFL and they're running, if you watch Washington and Jaden Daniels, what Jaden Daniels did at LSU. I'm going to run what successfully makes him good. And that is RPO, triple option. We're going to cater to his talent. Zimmer's still old school. I'm going to line up in a 4-4 cover 3. And the motherfucker's getting gas-cityed. If you watch last night, the Detroit Lions straight up disrespected a grown man they threw the ball to 2 O-linemen. Not 1, 2. And Penny Sewell should have scored. They threw that motherfucker the ball twice. They are throwing the linemen out there. They're throwing throwback wheel routes to the tight ends, Shaun, for 70 yards to the fucking tight end on a wheel route.
Shout out to Ben Johnson, though. Ben Johnson's a bad boy as an OC over there.
Zimmer is lost. And I called that game on our Sunday show with Sean Salisbury. I said the Cowboys are going to get absolutely hammered today. They did. And I just think this Cowboy team is going to – I don't know if they win 6-7 games.
I don't think they got the personnel on defense. They're small and lack depth on the interior D-line. They're injured on the edge because then Lawrence out too, him and Parsons. They losing Stephon Gilmore killed them because now they only got one corner nickelback that can cover, and that's Diggs.
But you can't tell me those two guys being injured is 42-point difference.
Well, I don't know how good they are when they're healthy. So when they're
my point. That's my point. Like my point is, Micah Parsons and Lawrence did not change that outcome that dramatically, and we've seen when they play.
I'm talking more to not upgrading and enhancing that talent pool.
Yeah, because one guy goes down. Look at the Detroit. Their best pass rusher last night went down. They didn't miss a beat.
Now that's big for them though, because
they was already blowing them out though, JB. That's gonna be huge moving forward. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
That's huge.
And listen, I wouldn't be shocked. I would not be shocked if Dan Campbell, and this is a hot take, and I'm gonna be honest, and I know this man has a tattoo on him already, but this is the professional football, and shit happens and shit changes, and you may have to get up and move. But don't be shocked if they try to bring back a hometown legend to replace him for the season and going forward to have two of the best pass rushers. If the Detroit Lions trade for Max Crosby, don't fucking be shocked. Yeah, you heard me.
Yeah, I saw.
Hell yeah, trade for him.
Crosby got into it with a coach or something on the sideline. I saw.
That's all okay. Out of proportion. They're boys.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see the actual.
He's like a analytical coach guy on the sideline. AP's boy. It's
Max actually tweeted out about it, said it wasn't nothing. Yeah.
It was that after that right there. So someone made it short that it acting like it was at the end of the game and he was just mad. It was actually after he got a sack and he was hyped, and he did that to him because that's what people took it all out of proportion. So, don't be surprised. So is that hot take right there so hot that you don't believe it? Because I'm telling you right now, he's a Michigan guy. Detroit Lions are his dream team, even though he wants to be a Raider because he'll be a Raider. Don't be shocked. And I would be shocked if the Cowboys tried to make a move and get him. Because
I'm torn here because that will ultimately mean the demise of Antonio Pierce, who I want to succeed.
Me too, but I already see it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, we know it was a setup for failure from Jump Street. We already knew that last year. It sucks. But it is what it is. I think they did.
You were a believer, JB, coming in the season.
I am a believer. I am a believer, but at the same time, I know when I see the Holy Ghost setup happening. And I said it last year. I said, listen, we'll know in the draft if he has full autonomy. Shaun and I said, we'll know in the draft if he has full autonomy to make a trade for Jaden Daniels. Did we not? Because if he could have got Jaden Daniels, who he coached and recruited, then we knew he had full autonomy. They didn't let him. They didn't even let him try to make a move. They didn't make a move in the first round as far as moving around. So that told me something.
They took Brock Bowers a year.
Yeah, I like Brock, but Brock fell to him, right? They didn't make a move for him.
Then they didn't go after Russell Wilson. They didn't try and get Justin Fields. They went
and you hire Luke Getsy. Luke Getsy is who you hire? Come on, man. I don't know. I don't get it. But go ahead, Smitty. I know we got some topics for Shaun.
Yeah. So moving on, man. We talked about this a little bit earlier. Nick Sirianni, Eagles head coach, was seen chirping at the fans in Philly after the Eagles barely got the win over Cleveland. We see right here yelling, talking some trash. And there's another video of Nick Sirianni after the game, kind of speaking on his interaction with the fans. Go ahead and play it, baby.
Excited. Just excited to get the win. Just excited to get the win. Yeah. It's hard to win in this league, so we're excited to get the win.
I guess, Shaun, I'm going to start with you first. Just what's your take first on seeing Nick Sirianni kind of chirping at the fans as a head coach? And then secondly, just your overall view on what the Eagles look like right now so far throughout the season.
The press conference, he was seeking comfort.
Nah, he was playing victim.
The same thing. He was seeking comfort. He brought his kids up. He wanted
to soften the blow.
Yes, because and sometimes because fan bases are regional, you don't get the full energy of a fan base.
Look at the girl, though. She really like a rider. She's like, Dad, you full of shit.
Hey, JB, Smitty, they hate Nick Sirianni's ass.
Oh.
I'm talking about the Eagle fan base universally. I don't know what's going, boy. They hate him. If you like yesterday, for whatever reason, because it kind of was a boring afternoon slate for the most part. I mean, Pittsburgh was kicking Vegas ass. Detroit was blasting Dallas. This was kind of one of the closer games. I kind of was following it a little bit on social media. Man, they were tearing him a new butthole during that game online. They hate that dude.
Hey, but can we be real though? This is not the first time, Smitty. This guy's gone at the crowd several times that we could probably find videos of. He's gone at the crowd several times, like he's in defense mode all the time. I've never seen another head coach that's supposedly supposed to be professional. I don't mind Sirianni doing it. I'm against the grain here because that's me.
JB,
I
hired
don't
a
mind
security guard to be his spirit angel during the games.
Now, the weird shit is where I lose it. Like, all the weird shit and how he is. Like, he's a Mike McDaniel to me. He's one of these hires that I just look at as these analytical guys. And when I saw his press conference 4 years ago, I was like, who the fuck? What is this weirdo talking about? I've said it years ago. The same with McDaniel. We're losing that whole nasty guy on the sideline that just demands respect. We lost that. I mean, it's getting worse. When Tomlin and Harbaugh's are gone and Andy Reid's gone, we're really going to be in a hell of a situation. It might be flag football by then. But I'm just going to be honest. Like, I've seen this guy go at the crowd, City.
I don't mind him doing it if you're winning, if you're looking good. And yeah, they won the game.
But was that his home crowd? Was that his home crowd?
Yeah, it was in Philly.
Come on, man. That just screams, I have a couple days left here. Like, I lose a couple more games and I'm probably done.
You know, Philly fans will boo you. Like they don't care who you are. They straight up boo you and say whatever to you. You know, so
that's what I'm saying.
Hey, you know, have you ever been driving before and you ain't paying full attention? You change lanes and you didn't realize how close the car was, but you put your hand up and you like, my bad. He's that dude that won't let you like go. He gonna follow you to the next two lights and honk the horn. You asshole, man. Like that's Sirianni. That seems like the kind of dude he is.
Yeah. Let's dive into some college real quick, Shaun. And I got give me your breakdown of A. Do you believe Dan Lanning did the 5-yard penalty on purpose, which I said he did when we were watching it at the casino with Steve Kim? B. What is your take on Will Howard sliding? And are you putting everything on the kid? Or I know you think a little bit like myself, we got to put the coach in some sort of question mark as well. Because Ryan Day and Deion Sanders have the exact same record versus top 25 talent when they don't play in their division. And I haven't seen Ryan Day win any meaningful game. And he hasn't beat Michigan. And we could keep going on and on and on and on about Ryan Day. If we're going to give Deion some criticism, let's give Ryan Day some criticism. Last I checked, they have the #1 collective in America, the highest payroll roster. We've heard Urban Meyer and everybody say this is the greatest roster of all time. I said, how can you have the greatest roster of all time when you have no quarterback? So first of all, I'm the only one saying that. Where are you at with the slide? Where are you at with the call from the offensive coordinator, head coach, or Chip Kelly, or whoever called it? And where are you at with Dan Lanning taking the 5-yard penalty with the illegal substitution penalty right before, which ultimately cost them 4 seconds on offense for Ohio State?
Well, let me say this. I hate when a game ends in controversy and it takes away from the fact these are the two best teams in America. This was a hell of a football game. It was Hey, listen, when you look at total team, offense, defense, special teams, these two teams played at a high level on all three. Both ran the ball effectively in an era where you see all RPOs. Like, these are two teams that handed the ball off in a physical run game. Two quarterbacks that, for the most part, made a bunch of plays. You know, also on defense, they stepped up and made some plays when they had to. So I know Oregon special teams kind of let them down a little bit, you know, because they probably should have been up more. But I thought it was a well-played football game. The end of the game was kind of weird because the percentages say they were never going to get in field goal range anyway. You know, it's not like they got the ball with 2 minutes left. You know what I mean? Like, they were back against the wall from the first snap of that series. So I probably have to put that one on the quarterback because it looks like from the way – I haven't watched the All-22, but from the product that you can see, it looks like they were trying to throw an out route on two different levels. A short one to the flat looks like it was something a little deeper. Neither one was there.
Like a
At
flood.
that point, if you're the quarterback, I think you got to throw the ball away.
Yeah.
And then either throw a Hail Mary or try a YOLO. I know they weren't in field goal range. At least come back and have a Hail Mary play call. I don't think you could just run the ball, because even if you would have slid earlier, the chance that they could have got it, in the timeout call at Oregon, like if I'm Dan Lanning, I might beat the damn clock runner up, if he lets them do that. So, I mean, they own the road, so they're probably not going to get the time anyway.
Where you at with the call, though? Where are you at with the communication?
I'm trying to remember, what was the penalty that cost them?
Illegal substitution. Dan Lanning called it. He knew it. So he called it.
He had 12 people on the field on purpose.
It was after a timeout, though. Dan knew what he was doing. He ran a guy out last minute. You see him grab the guy and throw him out there to get the penalty. So
yeah, I saw that after the fact. I didn't notice it when they called it, but it was some still shots or something of him doing it. So it looked like it was intentional. But hell, they all playing games now. I mean, Lane Kiffin got guys falling out all over the. They're all trying to push the rules to the level, the extreme.
Yeah, I just think the communication as a coach should have been a lot different. This is what it is. You throw the ball in your third step, or you fucking chuck it out of bounds. If you don't throw it on your third step, you throw that bitch out of bounds so we can design or come up with our Hail Mary. Or you're throwing this ball right now quicker a little bit so I can get a little bit of a better shot at the end zone if that's where we are. If we know field goal range is out is all I'm saying. If we know field goal range is out.
If there's an issue with Ryan Day, that is something that has to have been practiced multiple times. That's not we've never gone over this, I can have that conversation with the quarterback on the sideline. So maybe from a situational football standpoint, Ohio State didn't look as prepared for that particular situation as they should have been. Because you got to practice that. Like, to me, that's one of your, just like you practice your Hail Mary, to me, you got to practice, okay, we got 8 or less seconds left. We need to gain 12 to 15 yards. Either spike it, call a timeout. Like, what's our portfolio of plays, and practice those things? It didn't look like they had.
Yeah.
Because if they had, the quarterback would have made that mistake before, and you could have already corrected it. So for you young coaches out there, this is why you practice situational football. That's how you perfect it. You have your guys put in those situations, and you start this in your off-season stuff. You do this in training camp. Like, you do this, like, you work these plays for these situations all the time so that you can already have coached them up correctly. You cannot depend on 18 to 21-year-olds in those pressure situations to do what they're supposed to do if they haven't been repped, if they haven't repped it multiple times. You just cannot depend on them.
Right. Yeah, I agree. What's your takeaway real quick? I know Smitty got to end it. We got you a couple minutes before E-Dub. What's your take on Tennessee, Ole Miss, the teams that had a no schedule? Like we talked about it. Mazzoni brings it up Wednesday. Start giving these dudes more criticism than praise, because Ole Miss played Furman, Middle Tennessee State, Wake Forest. Everybody thought they were the best offense we've ever seen, and Jackson Dart's the MVP or the Heisman, and then they've actually shit the bed. And now you see the same thing with Tennessee. Nico in the last 2 weeks has looked subpar, and here we go, right? We put all these guys on this pedestal, and now they're coming down to reality as they get into league play and start playing these SEC opponents or divisional opponents, and now they're not the God beaters that everyone thought they were, right? Where are you at with this? Certain teams like that. I think LSU, to your point, Shaun, LSU is probably pissed that fucking SC lost.
I had an up and down Saturday as far as betting, but I did call LSU to beat Ole Miss on the show Friday. I think Ole Miss and Tennessee are different because Jackson Dart's a 10-year player. He's been there. And I think Ole Miss issues are defensively. They couldn't stop LSU. I thought Ole Miss in that offense, did a hell of a job. They weren't. Jackson Dart's a tough kid. He was getting his butt hit, and he just kind of stood back there and kept making plays. Whereas I think Tennessee, they're struggling offensively right now. Like, they don't have an identity. Nico's not throwing the ball down the field very well right now, and they're not dominating the line of scrimmage so they can run the ball like I'm sure that they would like to. So I think that even though the outcomes were the same, not the same because Tennessee won in overtime, I think Tennessee's issues are different than Ole Miss's.
Where you at with SC to end the last take before you get out of here? We'll see you Friday, and then we'll see you again this weekend at the house.
Fire Lincoln's ass and send him back to Oklahoma.
I'm telling you, he's a fraud, man.
As soon as
that was my upset pick of the week, man. SC was my upset pick of the week. Everyone thought.
I mean, they were right there, Jay. You were close. They had right there.
They had the game won. They let a kid who ran a 4.8 have 14 catches as a fullback tight end. And not only is he Smitty, he's running seam routes versus too high and catching motherfucking balls like this, like he was John Mackey.
I will say this. Hey, he's not a finished product. But I'm telling you, if he can get hot, Drew Aller will be in the conversation for #1 quarterback ticket. I don't think he deserves it. I think he's a little too inconsistent, but he does some things on tape now. I'm just telling you, if an owner's a dreamer, and it looks like Carolina's probably gonna have do they got their own pick this year?
I don't even know.
If they got the #1 pick, hey man, I'm telling you, wouldn't surprise me.
Interesting.
Well, Deion, because to that point, here's why I say this: Deion would not let the Panthers draft Shador with that guy, the owner.
Right.
Yeah. I agree.
It.
Shaun, we'll see you Friday. Then we'll see you Friday night. I'll scoop you up from the airport, and then we'll see you Friday.
Now, I'll see you Saturday.
Peace out.
See you Sunday and Sunday.
All right, then, Shaun.
It's time for the man of the day. E-Dub.
Time to get me hyped. Time to get me hyped.
Monday. Utah Ute legend, Hall of Famer, high school coach of the year to be. Has his team at 6-1. Shout out to Rancho Bernardo High School as his son is balling out there. Ram, Charger, Raven legend. The IE GOAT himself. Drop the video.
Yeah. I'm in my mode, ready to transform you in the eye of the storm. Hail Marys, I make it pour. Good, I ain't lying. You little giants, we been defying. Rise. What's the cost? Be the boss, breaking down the walls. We all in once the coin gets tossed. Got the plan of action, never acting. No need to scramble to get traction. We make it happen. From 3-4s to 4-3s, we get it cracking.
Yeah, E-Wet on Monday.
Hey, let me see your hoodie. Let me see your hoodie. Ooh. Oh yeah, he rocking every. Hey, Matt represents his team. E-Dub's gonna represent his team. Those two teams, ironically, sitting at the same record in the same division. It's gonna be very interesting. E-Dub, I gotta ask you straight out. I love Cam Rising. I recruited him from Texas when he entered the portal. I was trying to get him to Indy. I knew him from high school out here in the Valley. Great kid. I tried to get both Texas quarterbacks that transferred that year. He does not look good at all. Like, I don't know if it's the injury or if it's his age or what it is. For one, I saw a lot of low platform and I saw a lot of high balls. So if your elbow drops, as you know, balls are going to go high and elbow stays up. We got to get the ball down. I see a lot. I don't see any trajectory on the football. It seems like he is just a sitting duck out there as well. He's not the Cam Rising we fell in love with over the last few years. Is he the sole reason to their last few game struggles, or is it bigger than that?
Well, first of all, great to see you.
Good morning.
See you both.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
And congratulations to being 6-1.
Thank you. Thank you. I first did Shaun get his intro? Did he get his intro video yet? Shaun was hurt last week. Oh, that's funny.
Hey, he's coming out here this weekend, E-Dub. He's coming out here.
Yeah, pull up Saturday. If you're free, pull up Palooza. Me, you, Shaun, Steve, Kim, Shaun. It'd be fun.
Poker Saturday. I don't know if you work.
Okay. I think I can pull that off this weekend. So mark me in until otherwise. But
ooh, we got some tacos, some wings.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Are you
so
coming, Smitty?
Saturday, Saturday for sure.
Back to the question.
We'll see.
You know, he hurt his ankle the first series, and ironically, I I was playing Friday night, and I didn't realize they played. I thought they played Saturday. So I showed up 10:15 at the, coaches get together after the game at one of the coaches' house and eat and kind of go over the whole game and kind of let our minds settle. And the game was on. So I saw the fourth quarter on, and that fourth quarter and watching him was not the same Cam that we've witnessed over the last 3-4 years. And it could be a number of reasons. And unfortunately, that was a very, very bad loss coming off a bye. And there's a lot of uneasiness up there in Salt Lake because of the expectations we have. And they got to get it figured out. Is it turn the page and go with Isaac and roll with it? He's got 4 games under his belt. Or do we stick with Cam, even though he's probably can't even walk right now with that injury? So
if you're the coach,
I'm not sure what the answer is.
If you're the coach that night, if you're the head coach, would you pull Cam in that game? Because even at halftime, before the half, as they were going down before the half ended, I'm watching it in particular, and I'm watching them struggle. And then the rumors are already out there. The commentators, do you pull him? Is he coming back in the second half? All these questioners by these guys that never fucking probably played. Would you pull the kid, or is it his show and he's got to figure it out?
Yeah, I mean we don't know how the week of practice went. We don't know how the bye week went. We don't know if he's physically looked like the old Cam Rising, right? He's won us 2 Pac-12 championships, took us to 2 Rose Bowls. So you don't just discredit what he's done in the past, but also staying in the present and seeing what you see and trusting your instincts as the head coach. So if all those factors, and I felt that he didn't give us the best chance to win, then I would have pulled him. I've done it before. And, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, but that's where you stand on as the head coach. And Coach Whiff probably felt like he was the best shot and he's the guy, and it didn't work out. So we're going to see what this team's all about the rest of the way.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Tough way to lose. Colorado also lost in a tough way.
Watched a lot of that game. So it was a good game. Good back and forth. Just the reality.
Can I ask you just an honest question? I asked Matt, there's 2 parts of this I want to ask you. Number one, I'm looking at that game, and I know we've had discussions too. I'm looking at the game. I'm like, shout out to K-State for getting the win, but they're not a very good football team either, man. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, I'm just looking at teams.
No drop back passing game. It's all
I'm looking across the landscape.
Quarterback.
I watch SC, Dub, and I wish I had you on the board on Wednesdays with Mazzoni. I'm watching this SC game, and I'm like, me and my boy Porch, who's a defensive guy, we're on the boat watching the game, and the tight end literally on the line in an SC's in a 40 front. They're in a 4-down front. I've never seen it at the 4-year levels, E-Dub. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if you saw this, but I swear to God, they had a 3 in shade, a 5, and a 5. The tight end had no Sam Eaglebacker down in his face. They had not even a 9 technique outside the tight end to where at least I'm jamming you at the line of scrimmage before I go get a pass rush.
Just free release.
He was at the line of scrimmage, Smitty, the last man on the ball, and was straight to the flat. They just kept throwing the ball in the flat the whole goddamn game. I am sitting there like, holy shit, I've never seen a DC who was at UCLA and had some success, and I've seen it. I know him pretty well. I'm like, there has to be something wrong, and how it wasn't corrected tells me that was the scheme. Because you correct that after play 1. Okay, tight end free release. I got to get an Eagle backer down there. I'm going to roll the Sam down, and now we can still be in too high if you want to be in too high, but we're in too high with no Sam to be found and no 9 technique. Number 44 had 14 catches. This slow white kid who had 14 catches, and that's what beat SC.
First of all, there's no way any sound defense or defense coordinator would allow at least head up on the tight end, let alone a 9 technique, so you have an edge to your defense. It's just that's typical SC. They do dumb things, and the scheme always catches up to them in big games. On the flip side, with Colorado, I think they're the better team. Watching that game, I think they have better skill guys. They obviously have the better quarterback. They don't have a good running game. That's okay. You make up for your pass game. But it just comes down to situational awareness. You can't be taking 20-yard sacks
Yeah.
in a big game like that. You just can't do that. And then he'll come back and make an incredible throw, which I text JB and multiple people. Like, he makes incredible plays, but then he'll make dumbfounded plays that hurt your team. So I think there's a balance that he needs to start to understand, that you're not athletic enough to get out of these situations. Okay. And then you get to the league, you're not ever running away from these guys. So
Right.
I want him to see him progress because he has the accuracy, he has the acumen. I'm talking Shedeur, like, he can get the ball in places that very few guys can, but it's never going to work if he doesn't start to sit in the pocket and do what he needs to do, because that's the type of quarterback he's going to be in the NFL.
It's frustrating as a coach. Before Smitty asks you a question,
you good?
It's frustrating as a coach because now, getting this coaching thing going. Like, I had a kid named Emmett Gooden who went to Tennessee after me, big time 3 technique, NFL guy. He stepped on a kid's throat game 1 of my first year at Indy, and we lose the game to Fort Scott, game 1 of my inaugural season there, and he gets suspended for 2 games by the refs, by the league. And then he also won me our first bowl game in school history. Right? We lose multiple games without him, and then we lose games because of him.
Yeah.
But then we win multiple games because of him. It's a thing that a lot of folks don't know how coaching works. They don't understand it. But like, Shedeur's that guy. He'll win me these games, but he'll also lose me these games, or I'll lose these games because of how he
couple plays here and there. Yeah,
that's 22, man. It's a double-edged sword. That when you're a coach, how you manage that, it's so finite. It's so finite, and it's really meticulous. And people don't understand that. So that's why it's hard at my level to cut a guy right away, because I'm at the JUCO level. I'm supposed to get him to go to Utah, Alabama, and all these places and not do that at that level. And then at the same time, at the 4-year level, they're supposed to be taught that already, you would think, to where, okay, now I can cut you like the kid at Oregon who spit in a guy's face at Ohio State.
Hey, that's
insane. I mean, what are we doing, Smith? Edub? That's the portal in essence. That's the portal in essence, in my opinion. That's what we get. We get shitbirds who are out there and they're going to do crazy, outlandish shit to put your head coach at risk of saying, now you're putting my name and you're putting me in a harm's way. I got to either cut you now, or I lose my locker room and reputation, or my admin, in our case, looking at me like, oh, you're allowing this unruly behavior.
He's for sure getting suspended. I mean, he has to.
That's one of the most disrespectful things, just in general, you can do. You know what I'm saying? Player to player, man to man, regardless. Like, I don't know, like, what goes through your mind as a player? I don't care what's going on that field. I don't care what that player said to you. I don't care what happened. What goes to your mind to make you even do that? Like, that's insane for you to even think to do that. If you're the head coach, I don't know. Like, it has to be some pretty strenuous punishment, in my opinion, even outside of what the league. I mean, look at this right here. And Jamie, you called it first. I think we were watching that together, and I'm like, I didn't see it at first. I thought maybe he was trash talking the cat, and Jamie was like, "Nah, I think he might have spit on him." I said, "No way." They showed it again. So, oh my god. Either you or Steve. It might have been Steve. Might have said. I can't remember. One of you guys said it. It might have been Steve. But I'm like, man, there's no way. So I don't know, man. You guys are the coaches, but I think it had to be a crazy punishment for that kid in that situation, in my opinion.
There's no doubt he would be. He'd be suspended for sure. You gotta look at a lot of times.
And he's smiling at him.
Wow, yeah.
And I'm learning this as you go. If you don't really set your guidelines on what is disciplinary, what is suspendable, you have to have all that in writing. And
then he stole his helmet.
Yeah, like you're the one that made that decision.
Right. Like, this is 1,000% on you.
He's the victim. It goes back to the culture, man. It goes back to lack of culture because of all the turnover in today's roster, in my opinion. Like, was he there in January to go through winter ball and understand the culture here? And was he there when we put in these rules in place? Or is he a plug and play guy because we paid him through a collective?
But sometimes too, JB, as you know more than me, sometimes even with culture, you have one or two guys who are just hotheads. and you can preach to your blue in the face what we do here, what we shouldn't do. But sometimes those hotheads just don't fully learn. I played with them. I had them as teammates sometimes. And sometimes
Smitty, you've never had a dude spit in someone's face.
No, not spit. I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm not.
That's like a whole nother level of dumb.
Yeah, spit is like a whole nother. I'm just saying.
We all have the crazy nut loose. Those are the guys you want in your quarter in your foxhole. Like, I rock with those dudes, but I don't rock with the dude.
Not the spit. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
I know you're not saying that, but we don't have teammates like that. That's weird. That's
beyond weird. Like, and JB, like you say, he smiled afterwards. That's kind of like, I don't know. Like he's
a fake tough guy. That's what that is.
And we got all these guys, these wannabe thugs playing college football and in the NFL. It's like, first of all, gangsters don't play football. Gangsters grew up playing football, and then they either turned to athlete or they stayed gangbanging. There's not a guy out there faking these fake pistols and all this shit. If you were that hard, dog, you'd be a gangster. Like, I just hate to see this shit, man, because we call them fake ass good boys. That's a real name.
Most guys are about it. They don't need to say anything. They say okay, and they go back, and then they'll get you when it's time and in the right place. It's always how it's always been, and that's why I always say, watch who you talk to, watch who you run up onto, because you don't ever know what the other side's about. So
I would always tell that to JB. You know, he's always kind of down here just hollering like he's this big gangster. I'm like, bro, you coach and play football, homie. You can't be that tough. So I'm glad we're getting that message out here now. So, but staying in college football before we move on to tonight's big game, new AP top 25 rankings have came out, and Army and Navy are both for the first time in the top 25 since 1960. I just want to hear your guys' take just on the overall top 25 landscape. Are there any teams or order that you feel like should be shifted? But then also just, more importantly, to see Army and Navy on here, I think it's dope. I played Army almost every year in college. A great environment to play in. Very competitive, obviously. Those guys are going to play hard from beginning to end, no matter what the score is. Always a respectable game on top of that. I just think it's dope to see them both in the top 25. But as you look at this list, anything that stands out, anything that's alarming or that you would shift or move around a little bit?
Yeah, I would. I would give a shout out to Kalani at BYU, and no, I don't think anybody. And my old corners coach Jay Hill run the defense, no one would be sitting here seeing them being undefeated and potentially, like, man, they've had a big win. K-State, how good are they? Can they really compete with those top dogs? Like, I'm looking at this list, and honestly, I see maybe 7 teams that I would, not even that, 6 teams that I would put on the list that could win national championship. Everyone else is just there, and there's levels.
What are those 6 teams, Well?
Oh, I think Texas, Oregon, Ohio State. If as much as McCord messed up and blundered that last sequence, he really did throw some great balls. And I think he's a little bit limited, not as talented as those other quarterbacks that have come through there. But that team is really, really top-notch. On the road, could have won that game. Georgia, obviously. I'm not sold on Miami.
You mean Will Howard?
Will Howard, yeah. Will Howard.
Sorry,
yeah.
Sorry about that. Yeah. I don't really know what any of these
Kyle
guys
McCord is doing.
Really.
Kyle McCord's balling at Syracuse, though.
Yes, sorry. Yeah,
that's
you're right.
Good. Yeah.
And then Alabama, I think LSU, I'm a little nervous about their defense. But outside that, Clemson, but they haven't played So, again, it's the same names. But I want to give a shout-out because I respect a lot of those coaches over there. I respect their program. And really impressive what they're doing. Ole Miss, we were so high on them. Pitt's fake. Like Missouri, Kansas State, all those teams are fake. Boise State, it's not, good story, good, amazing running back, but they're not going to do anything. Notre Dame, same thing. So
right.
Where you at with Iowa State?
I haven't seen one snap of them, and who knows? Who have they played? Have they played anybody? The Big 12 is a lot of good, not a lot of great. So you have these teams. We thought Oklahoma State was really good, and Utah goes in there at their place, but they're not. They're terrible. So,
yeah,
I think, BYU at home against Kansas State was a big win for them, and it was. But Kansas State they would lose to those top 10, top 8 teams by 50.
Yeah.
I really believe it. They wouldn't be able to run one ball against Georgia, against Ohio State, Oregon. They wouldn't be able to do nothing. And then now you're asking that quarterback to throw, which they don't like to do. They would get destroyed. So how good is BYU? I don't really know. I applaud them because of what they've done so far, but I don't think there's a Big 12 team right now that could.
I agree. I don't know. Because we won't see Colorado with that offense play Iowa State unless it's in a championship type. We won't see them play BYU. We won't see them play BYU. Clemson, since Georgia, I think Clemson's now playing better than Georgia.
Yeah,
by
Clemson
far.
looks strong.
Yeah, and Georgia to me at 5 is a little bit disturbing to me, and so is Alabama at 7. I think both of those teams have declined since the season started. I think both of those. I think Miami's better than both of those teams, and I would still have Ohio State ranked ahead of them.
Miami's been last 2 weeks.
Games.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I agree. That's why I'm not huge on the ACC either. I think Clemson's going to win that division, and they're going to be in the playoff for sure. And I told you I would not be shocked if Clemson wins it all. And I'm gonna be honest.
Miami should get an at-large bid if their only loss is to Clemson. So the both will get in and.
Yeah, and then
I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
LSU, Alabama, and Georgia now, since Tennessee and Ole Miss have kind of fallen out of the mix as far as being a serious contender. I don't know. And then A&M hasn't lost since the opener. They're now. Are they serious?
Who'd they lose to?
They lost the game 1 to who did A&M lose to? Bailey. Somebody that wasn't. Did they lose to Miami?
It might have been.
I'm not sure who they lost to. Notre Dame, maybe?
Notre Dame. They're saying Notre Dame.
I think it was Notre Dame. And then Notre Dame lose to Northern Illinois.
Yeah.
Right. But then Notre Dame been rolling since then. So it's kind of it's all over the place right now, man. We got to.
Is it what you think is watered down? Maybe.
Nah, I think it's just a lot of parity everywhere, man.
Parity.
It's the same teams that'll be there. It's just the reality of it.
Real quick, I do want to move to NFL. We got a Monday Night Football game tonight.
Peterson been fired yet?
Who?
Peterson.
We got Bills and Jets, y'all. Bills and Jets, AFC.
Has Stefanski been fired yet, or have they finally grown some balls and benched that guy? Seriously.
Maybe.
I love it. No.
Hold on.
Either one.
Let me. I got a couple more. Is AP done with the Raiders? Seriously. At home, you're going to put that performance out there? Like, what are we doing? It makes me really irritated by some of these teams for the players, because there's levels to it, obviously, and great organizations, but holy smokes. How have you not moved on from Peterson?
How about Cowboys? How about McCarthy?
Seriously, that is a complete embarrassment if you're the Cowboys. Jerry Jones should fire himself as GM, take a step back, and they should get another coach in there. We've been saying that. We've been saying these types of things, but it continues to allow it to happen. If a player was unacceptable, awful for multiple games, you know what would happen to him? He'd get cut. So in most cases, kind of not being reality, but in most cases, if you're not a guaranteed salary like Deshaun Watson somehow, that's what would happen. So some of these coaches have multiple years of not doing anything, and now they're allowed to just continue on. If I'm a player, I'm like, nah, man, this isn't the guy.
You put on your GM hat real quick that you have a future at being and a love in, an admiration for. Let me ask you, is this a setup for failure in Antonio Pierce's case? Because Sean King and I said, we're going to know if he has full autonomy or not in the offseason. And then the offseason came, and he couldn't make a move to get his own guy that he recruited, Jaden Daniels, in the draft. And he could have made some moves. The Raiders made no moves. Brock Bowers fell to them. They didn't make any moves to go get anybody. And you don't have a quarterback to start your season. You have Aiden O'Connell, who played a few games as a rookie, and then you go get Minshew, who is not a guy to start in a major franchise. Let's be honest. So to me, it's like a lame duck. Like Antonio Pierce is probably gone already after this, right? Like, look at what we're doing.
Yeah, you would hope that he would get more than 1 year, full year. And I'm not saying he should be fired. I'm just mad at the product. Now, is that his fault? Is it the play? Did he have any pull into what players that are on the team? Like, we don't know those conversations. I don't know. But the reality is you went into a season, you drafted another skill guy. You have no offensive line. You got no quarterback. And how are you going to win? You can't win if you don't have a quarterback. Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell is who you're going to strut out there. Like, come on, man. We know those guys they're bad.
Let's flip the script and go to Pittsburgh. They did not look very good at all on offense at all either. Justin Fields continues to just kind of be the guy out there going through the motions, handing the ball off to Harris, and they got a shitbird at wideout, Pickens, who drops balls wide open because he's a shitbird. That's just my true opinion. I don't understand. You got to go to Russell Wilson going forward, in my opinion. There, even though they
just got to blow. I mean, they won 32-13 though.
I get it, but that's
but tough to.
Really, on one side, we'll defend Mike Tomlin all day long because that's what he does. He wins 9-10 games a year because that's who he is. He's a hell of a coach who wins games. But you don't have enough to get a playoff win in the last 15 years. You don't have enough to get over the hump. Like, what are they going to do? They got to get better, right? Not stay the same. That's not what the NFL coach.
Yeah, Russell ain't.
The Russ ain't really. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, we've seen
something mediocre. Then
they play great defense. They run the ball, run Fields 10 to 12 times a game.
He ran for 2 touchdowns yesterday. He did what he was supposed to do, in my opinion.
Like that's their identity until they go draft a young kid or get a superstar. Like, that's just what it is. So Wilson be a sitting duck back there and hasn't played.
Look at that. Why even? Look at that, E-Dub. Look at that, E-Dub. That's a history of shitbirds. Like,
it's documented that they have guys that have been issues, but credit to Mike, we had no idea how bad Antonio Brown was.
No clue.
And that's why I give Tomlin credit. I give Tomlin so much credit.
It's not easy dealing with these kind of.
Is Pickens the next one gone out of there?
I don't really know I know his behavior. And listen, you got to deal with some of these guys, like as receivers. They want the ball. They want to feel impacting the game. Like Calvin Ridley, like he has a point. If I don't get the ball or a throw until the fourth quarter, the game's over. I'm checked out. That's just that's who they are. They're not team guys, and that's not like I'm bashing all receivers. That's just the reality, and that's okay. I want guys that want the ball, and I want guys that are like minded, like I want to dominate and help my team win. Okay, I get it, but also as a coach, you have to understand that and help your team out and get them the dang ball. Like, get them the ball somehow, some way. That's on you. So you manage your team. You're managing those personalities. That's not new, that these guys are who they are. No, it's the ones that handle it and make sure that they get the dang ball because they are dependent on 10 other guys to make an impact on the game. That's what it's a selfish, selfless position because you rely on everyone else, but you're selfish because you want to be great and you want to help your team. But I have to rely on everybody else to give me the ball. It's not. Everyone just wants to talk how bad those position groups are. No, they're amazing, but you just have to be able to communicate and manage those guys.
Yeah, that's a hell of a point. Selfish position. Because I mean, I think it's human nature to get kind of frustrated if it's the fourth quarter and I'm out here
I'd be pissed
rounding guys up and I ain't touched the ball all day. Like, come on now. Like,
there's no more Hines Wards over there. The selfless guy that go block you up and
I mean, you got Tyler Lockett. He's kind of he's one of those guys who doesn't really complain that much for the Seahawks. He's probably the one guy I see a receiver that never says anything, but. For the most part, I mean, guys are they want the ball. They gonna ask for it. That's just part of the game. So,
E-Dub, before we do some hell yeah, hell not in the show, we got to get your take tonight. Tonight is a very interesting matchup, in my opinion. We have a whole complete turnover in organizational leadership there, with Salah being gone, and then Brick goes in and changes the offense right away, which I give him credit for. I wish but I thought that Hackett should have been let go too. That would have been a real big statement. But then they demoted him. Todd Downing now is going to call the plays tonight for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron came on Pat McAfee show and said, I'm going to do whatever Brick wants to do. So he said it on wax. So you really can't go back and blame anybody now because it's a new regime there. This game is very impactful in a lot of ways that I don't think people realize. Josh Allen was going into the season as the MVP favorite. They were running the football. They looked good. Addition by subtraction, losing Diggs. Everyone thought they were going to ball out. And now they've gone on a little bit of a slow, low streak. They've lost a few. They don't have any outside weapons, to be honest. Gabe Davis is scoring touchdowns for Jacksonville over there. Diggs
looked horrible last week, too. He was 9 for 30, I think. Like, he didn't look good at all.
Josh was 9 for 30. No one even talked about that. We brought it up. What's your breakdown tonight? The Jets win if, and the Bills win if.
The Bills are going to win because they own the AFC East. That's the only thing that matters. The Jets are in turmoil. You could say they may have a honeymoon with the change of coaching. It usually happens maybe 1 or 2 games after a coaching change, but it is what it is. There's something off with this team. I'm not sure what it is. We're not there, but they
Do you
don't
think they have a lot of overrated players? Like Sauce Gardner, we thought was the best thing since sliced bread. He comes in now.
I think when you lose and you don't play well as a team, a lot of things get highlighted. And you have 1 or 2 plays that aren't very good. You don't highlight the other 65 snaps that you had that were top notch. So I think that's just part of the game. I don't think they're overrated. I think they have a lot of talented guys. That are still playing at a high level. There's just a disconnect. Maybe it was the head coach. Maybe it was. And we're going to see a different vision, a different culture, a different identity on how we're going to win and how we're going to play together. Football is so much of a team unity vision sport. If there is any leakage in those 3 areas, you're going to struggle because if you don't have everyone bought in the right – look at the Lions, man. Look at that team. And after the game, how connected they are, right? When Goff is so aware that their head coach played for Dallas for so many years, and the game ball that he just got gave the game ball back to his head coach for winning in Dallas and just destroying them. Like, it's those little things. The Ravens always have a tight-knit locker room and a coach that has a belief, and the players respect them. Like, those are the things that manage throughout the season that separate the good and the great. So, I don't know. I think I would trust the Bills over the Jets right now from what I've seen. But who knows, honestly. Like, there's so much from week to week you think, man, I think I got a pinpoint on this team, and then they go out and they play awful. So I don't know.
Yeah, the whole season's been that way, Weddle, so we shall see, man. But transition to our final segment, man. Hell yeah or hell no, brought to you by BetUS. Go to betus.com right now, place your bet, and use the promo code Coach JB. Hell yeah, hell no. Aaron Rodgers. Well, no, we just asked that. Colorado will not make a bowl game this season. Hell yeah or hell no?
Will not make a bowl game?
Yep.
Hell nah. They're going to win 8 games. I think they'll win 8 games.
8?
Yeah.
All right. JB?
Maybe more. They're good. They're good. They're good. Like, that, you take away all the emotions, everything else out of it. They're good. They just need the little things at the end of games and throughout the game, they'll win against good teams. There's no one really great in the Big 12. I don't look at the Big 12 and say they can't go beat them if they go play great. That's what I mean.
They should beat Arizona. They should beat Cincinnati.
And that Utah game, I'm not sure it'd be funny. Like, that's an interesting game now, though. Like, before,
right now, I would say Colorado would have the upper hand against Utah. So
which I would have never said before the season. So
like, you say, okay, I'm looking at the schedule. If Colorado plays great and the other team plays great, you don't think they can win?
Yeah, Oklahoma State's not who we thought. KU is bad. Texas Tech.
Is it crazy to say Colorado could win out? Is that crazy?
No.
I mean, who
not
is
now? Not now, Smitty. Before the season, hell yeah, not now.
Who is a guaranteed loss on that schedule for the Colorado Buffaloes? Nobody. So it'll be up to them. Like, if they go,
should be favored going forward, right?
I mean, I don't know how that works, but they'll have a chance. I think they win 8 games, depending if they get. It could be more, it could be less. I don't know. I put it at 8 now.
Yeah,
what I've seen.
Yeah, JB gonna owe me some money. So, all right, hell yeah, or hell no. Doug Peterson will be fired after this week.
Yes, hell yeah, has to happen.
I'll open that up. Huh?
Oh wait. It won't happen this week. It'll happen after this week because they're playing 2 games in London.
Yeah, they're staying in London this whole week.
They're gonna give him one more week. They're gonna lose, and then he's fired. Mark my words.
And it'll be easier to fire him because of Salah.
It'll be a bye week. Yeah, and they get a bye week so they can transition.
Smitty, that's how it works. It's like the owners look at the first guy to make the move. Oh, Salah got fired in the AFC. We're going to have to fire our guy too. It makes it a little easier for the owner and the GM to fire a guy once the guy's fired. Yeah, I agree. Hell yeah.
All right. 2 more. Staying on the fire train. Hell yeah or hell no. Ryan Day will be fired after this season.
I say
I know what I
hell
want
nah.
to see.
I say hell nah because of the money that would be owed to him, and you don't fire guys that get you to the playoff every year, even though they don't win it. It's just
and they're like 11-1 every fucking year. It feels like 10-2.
It's not good. It's not good. Like if I'm a coach that goes in there, I gotta go undefeated, or else I'm gonna get fired.
I gotta be perfect, basically. What you're saying, to not get fired. That's kind of tough.
Yeah, I think he's an amazing coach. Like I think he's a good coach, but a lot of guys could coach that team when you have the best players at every position.
They have to be Michigan this year, though. I will say that they got to be Michigan this year. Now, if Michigan beats them again this year, especially like during a down year, I think he might be out of there. But if they beat Michigan, regardless of what happens after that, I think he's good.
But then who do you get with? Who do you replace? Like who? There's got to be a list of maybe 3 names that you're willing to do that, and who are those names, and can you get them? And
Urban ain't going back. Urban ain't going back.
Is Saban coming back? I mean, what are we doing? I mean,
I can see Urban going to SC before Ohio State.
Pete?
Too old.
All right. Well, last one. Hell yeah or hell no. Boise State will make the 12-team college football playoff.
What are the rules? How do they get in? They got to be top.
You got to be division winner
ranked.
Division winner, I think you're automatically in, right?
I think
no.
So.
That's
only top 5, though.
Power,
or 4, or whatever they call it now.
I think if they're ranked, if they're ranked in the top 12.
12. Yeah, if you rank top 12, you get
right.
in.
Then you can get an at-large bid.
Yeah.
I do think so. And they would get destroyed, but it depends on the matchup. But it would be awesome to see the running back against the top flight defense. In most cases, you could probably see the second best SC. So SEC. So it could be like an Alabama versus Boise State, which would be fun to watch just to see, can Boise State really compete, or they are what we think they are. So, or the flip side, Georgia.
They didn't do horrible against Oregon.
No, yeah. So I mean, I think they will. It'd be dope.
There it is, JB.
Hell yeah, hell no. The Jets will win tonight.
Hell no.
I'm calling the Jets to win tonight.
I'm saying hell yeah. I got a feeling the Jets gonna win tonight.
Like E-Dub said it. We know this is a one-time shock treat. They're hyped. They get that one win, but then after that,
the Colts did the same thing with the Jeff Saturday situation. He came out there at the win.
Colts. Hey, can we give a little shout out to my boy Joe Flacco?
Joe, yeah. Shout out to Joe Flacco.
Hey man, is it crazy that
I'm glad
2
to have
years
on my team?
Hell yeah, hell no. Joey Flacco's way better than IR5.
Oh, we already know that. But it's crazy that 2 years in a row that the Colts have been saved by a backup. It's pretty wild.
I don't know about saves, but I'm glad. Listen, y'all not gonna put me against Joe Flacco, who's also my quarterback. Nah, he can still hear. Y'all ain't gonna put me against my own quarterback. Joe Flacco's also my quarterback, contrary to belief. I'm just saying he's not the future, and we need to invest in our future. Who is AR5? I know Flacco is his guy. He played for the Ravens. I get all that, and I like Flacco too. But AR5 is our guy, and that's what it is, man. Thank you.
Shout out E-Dub. Shout out E-Dub dropping the mic. Shout out E-Dub.
E-Dub dropped the mic, man.
E-Dub dropped the mic on you.
And also, make sure you go to winnable.com/slap picks, man, and make sure you tapped into that, man. It means we've been putting up crazy picks and winnable all week long, making money. We're going to put some premium picks in there tonight. So make sure if you're not tapped in yet, you better tap in because we're doing the damn thing. I have four out of like 6 picks right on my college ball Saturday slate. 4 I missed on the Ohio State, Oregon, and in Colorado. Every other pick I had was perfectly right. So
my bet US picks were spot on. I lost the SC one. Other than that, I was spot on. I was 99% winner.
And you tell me, so if a new customer go to Bet US right now, up to $2,000, they'll get 150% return. Is that what you're saying? A bonus?
And if you bet again, second and third time, you get 125% plus. You get a gambler's insurance. Yeah.
You ain't getting that nowhere.
Yeah. Freddie Mac said, Smitty, it's not hard when you pick the money line.
All right. Thanks, Freddie Mac. I appreciate you, my guy. Thank you.
Brother, though.
I said thank you. We're not arguing. I said thank you.
But he hating on you, though.
The Slips, D. Jones. The Slips is on winnable.com, homie. So I said go to winnable.com/slappicks, homie.
Hey, Betty, can we do our bottom 5 real quick since we're not?
We got to set it for tomorrow.
No, we got NFL top 5 and bottom 5 tomorrow. We got to keep our segments, homie.
Well, you got to stay on.
Nah, homie, you didn't get to your. You talk too
horrible
much.
Producer.
You talk too much, homie.
You gotta go all over the place.
This show real quick. Go through it real quick. So show the fans, Bailey, so we don't have to do it tomorrow. We got NFL tomorrow, Smitty.
Coach JB's bottom 5 right here. Y'all see it right here. Let us know in the chat. Y'all agree? Y'all disagree? What do y'all think?
I don't like your attitude with it. It's in this energy is real shitty. Tennessee is even though they won, they're struggling. I think they're bottom 5. USC, they're horrible. It's a fraud. Utah looks horrific. Cam Rising. Ole Miss again losing to LSU. They've really gone downhill. And Washington, how do you beat Michigan and absolutely get destroyed by a team in Iowa that can't score? So Washington is by far the biggest letdown of the week. Smitty, go ahead.
Man, I like that, man. I have no quarrels with your list there. I got
Utah. Horrible top 5 here. This is a horrible.
I got Utah at the top of mine, man. I just think they laid a huge egg. Cam Rising, as you guys alluded to, looks like a shell of himself. I have to put him at the top. Oklahoma got destroyed in a big-time rival game. I just thought that they would compete, at least make it interesting, and it wasn't even close. UCLA continues to just look bad. I feel bad for my brothers because you could know this is going to be a one-year-and-out type scenario and situation. Washington, man, they lose the game, and then Kentucky lost against Vandy. I thought Kentucky was the real deal because a few weeks ago when they played against Georgia, they competed. It was a 12-13 game, I want to say. Defense looked phenomenal. I'm thinking Kentucky was on the up and up, and they lose against Vandy. So this is my bottom 5 for the week.
It's crazy how I go back to
my list, so my list is right because it's my list.
Yeah, maybe go back to the common denominator that football is just really shitty because maybe Michigan's not very good. They beat SC, who's not very good. And then Washington's not very good. They beat Michigan, and then they get waxed by Iowa. Maybe they're not just very good.
No, every week's going to be different, though, JB. My thing is this. I just hate that you continue to say football is so bad, but then we promote this as a football show. It's just kind of weird. It's kind of like imagine being the CEO of a certain industry, a certain company, but then telling that same fan base that they shouldn't buy from that same company or same industry. You're telling our fans that football is shitty, but they should come watch the show. We talk about football, which is a shitty sport. I don't get it. But listen, Coach Mike McDaniel today.
This guy's going to play again this year.
Tua's going to play again this season. It won't be this week. That's Tua's decision as a grown-ass man. We came on the show. We discussed this through and through. Listen, it's a tough one. You invested your whole entire career, your dedication into playing this game that you love. You've been at the top of the top in high school, top of the top in college, and you've gotten really good at the NFL level. This is a serious thing, we understand, but we all know we played the game. We signed a contract which said that we know we could possibly own this field. I'm not going to say the word, but it could happen on this field. Tua, as a grown man, has every right to make the decision to take that risk. And he has to live with whatever the results may be. And we pray for the best, but it's on him and not anybody else.
Head on over to BetUS tonight. Bet this game right here, the Monday Night Football game. We're going to have it on BetUS. You get 150% off. Use my promo code CoachJB. We'll be having a video out later on. And shout out to BetUS, proud sponsor of the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty. And shout out to First Round Performance. Go get you some Merc.
We got to show that commercial tomorrow too. Make sure we put that in the rundown. Put a little note so we don't forget. First round performance, because they got some amazing gear, stuff for athletes, stuff for men that we should all be wearing to keep our stuff intact and together. They got time clocks and timers and ankle weights, everything you need. So go to First Round Performance and make sure you see that ticker behind JB. You see that Keon Coleman, that Dalton Kincaid. That's live odds and live information right now. Get that for your studio. If you're a coach, get it for your office, or for your man cave. Get it right now and tell them Coach JB and Big Smitty sent you. Baby, we love you, baby. Fans, we love y'all. We thank y'all. The haters, I'm gonna give me a Roy Rogers right now. Get some wings, get ready for this game, and I'm tuning out. Take it away.
Oh, my God, Betty, make me big real quick. That's what she said. You know what? I hit Big Smitty to what a Roy Rogers is. He thought it was a Shirley Temple. Shirley Temples are for females. Roy Rogers are for men. And I had to tell him and teach him. And I taught the bartender, because this fucking enabled young-ass fucking generation don't know what a fucking Roy Rogers is. It's unbelievable. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow. Talk That Talk Tuesday from the studio live. Peace.
Issues get pressed so fast you don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what they get.